wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Check, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My ground repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeant is with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Thursday night football is in full effect. Nobody really watches Chicago and Carolina anyway. But we are here. Listen, first episode of HBCU Live. So you know I got to do it the right way. It's time! Oh, I love that. It's absolutely time. So listen, I had to go get the heavy hitters. I couldn't just go get anybody's. I had to go get some heavy hitters, right? And the two I got right now, my man Zoe running late. You know the mass meetings. They get you caught up, and you get you caught up. But gotta introduce my two heavy hitters right here. First up, you already know, you see him everywhere. He's on everything. Give it up, my man, BJ Joe.
What up? What up?
What's good, B? And his southern counterpart, you might know him with the sad face on Monday. Moment Perry Wayne.
Listen. I ain't have no sad face. I just didn't have time for the bullshit Monday. That was the last thing I had time for, was some bullshit. Y'all, and you came with it. Y'all came with bullshit, Mr. Campbell, G. I just didn't have time for it. But I understand.
My boy say he ain't come here for no foolishness.
Listen,
is you finished or is you done?
Listen, I'm here for a good time and a long time. Okay, I'm here for both of them. I'm here for both of them. A good time and a long time.
I know you with the shits, as they say. So I never know what I'm gonna get out of you. Then you try to throw a curveball at me because you like to see my reaction. So
it's not just me. Why you put this? It's not a personal thing.
It got to be. It's all you. First of all, you got that shirt hanging up back there, and then
it's still back there.
The other way, yeah. And then it takes a collaboration because, they just not jumping on here for fun. Somebody got to send them the link.
Damn, I do have to send them the link.
This just ain't no free for all. It ain't like they called in. They was on the link. They actually showed their face.
That's fair.
So, because I'm a football official, I do very well at doing good at ignoring things, right? Fans yelling, screaming at me, coaches and players behind me. So my ignore game on 1,000, I was doing my best Monday just using my ignore game.
Listen, you can ignore it all you want. It was coming.
I ain't gonna lie. Dude, it was one point on Monday, Perry was just sitting back quiet, like an angry parent at a parent-teacher conference, and ain't going quite the way that the student thought it was gonna go. When it's gonna be an ass whooping at the house, and you know it's gonna be an ass whooping at the house, and Perry was just calculating it in his head. That's how he was looking.
I was looking like every time that coach want to yell hold in every play. That was hold. I can act like I never heard you. I ain't never heard nothing, coach. What you talking about? Holding? What hold? It's holding on every play. Right, listen, I don't mean I ain't calling that. Come on now.
That joke was funny. But listen, like I said,
people like to see me. They like to see me.
Love it. They love it. It's sports entertainment.
Yeah. People can't wait till they can take a jab at Perry White. Then they just go all,
You know what? Okay, the reason is because my man BJ is more like the objective Southern fan, right? Where he's like, hey, I'm a Southern through and through, but we ain't playing the best of ball. You was putting them ranked number 5, and I'm like, man, they barely squeaking by. And then when it all comes to a head, that's why people gotta be like, I gotta get on your head, Perry, because you were just so high on Southern. That's all it is.
Drama sales, baby. I got to give the people something, right? If I didn't put Southern at number 5 and I did it, they wouldn't be interested. But every week they was trying to figure out why the hell is Southern number 5. So I got to do something for the people, man. It's keeping them entertained. They love now. Look at them. I'm enemy number 1. Everybody, I'm everybody's enemy now.
I've been looking for you.
Who you been looking for? Who am I? What am I?
Moving on.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Listen. Listen, guys, we'll give you a heads up. We usually talk about a lot of the topics that we have, but we don't give each other the answers. But I just let this one, they don't know it's coming. Who is on your Mount Rushmore for R&B? Now, R&B. No, ninja.
Say what you want to be. I ain't got to be a ninja. I can be the
running backs. Running backs. That's what you got out of that.
Running backs.
Lord have mercy. Now let me give you. Okay, Zoe's running late. He's getting off work. He's running late. He do his mass meetings at like 9 or 10 o'clock. That's why this is a little early for him. But So I'm riding, me and Keith riding, and we going down the highway, and on the radio, the lady comes up and she says on the radio, Usher's Mount Rushmore for R&B was himself, Michael Jackson, Prince, Marvin Gaye, and Whitney Houston. Now that's 5 people. There's 4 people on Mount Rushmore, but hey, who counting, right? So I wanted to throw it to y'all of who is on your Mount Rushmore for R&B.
I like R. Kelly. I think, I don't give a damn what people say. R. Kelly. You know how many generations of kids have been created because of R. Kelly?
And Touchstone.
Huh?
And Touchstone.
All right. I give R. Kelly. I like Al Green, so I take it a little older.
Okay.
I'm an Al Green. Actually, Al Green is my favorite of all time. It's just something about the swag. So I go Al Green, R. Kelly. Can it be a group?
Yeah, I mean,
the Isley Brothers, that's R&B. Now, Isley Brothers hard.
Yeah, and they've been doing it for like four decades.
And
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I listen. Hey, it's your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. I do Al Green, R. Kelly, the Isley Brothers.
Yeah, what happened there? Oh, there you go.
I'm right here, folks. I got my phone on Do Not Disturb. People still want to disturb me. I don't know what. Maybe they're trying to help me get this list together. This is tough, man. You just put me on the spot like that.
That's the whole point.
Marvin Gaye was hard, right? But it's a lot of
No homo. Okay. DJ, while he's contemplating, who you got for your Mount Rushmore?
The Isley Brothers. I can't put R. Kelly on there. I'm sorry. And if he hadn't have done the stuff he did, he would be up there. So instead of R. Kelly,
he want to know simply because his music.
Yeah, but I can't get past the point that you touch on people's children. Because I can't put him, let me go Keith Sweat. Let's see, Keith Sweat, the Isley Brothers. Let me go Teddy Pendergrass. And then I will go. Yeesh. I'll come up a little bit more recent. I'll go Maxwell in the next spot.
Now, this is my thing. Because I don't it was bothering me so much I had to call Mr. Campbell. I said, is Michael Jackson R&B? Because I thought he was pop.
Kind of like pop.
That's what I'm saying. But then
Jackson 5, I think, was kind of R&B.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said his roots.
Off the Wall, Michael Jackson is R&B.
That's what Mr. Campbell said. He said, go listen to the Off the Wall album. He said that's all R&B in his day. So I mean, listen. For me, I can't do Luther because he has too many covers. That's just me personally. I'm just like, most of his biggest hits. He's a cover king. And if you don't know it, you don't know, because once Luther touches it, it's pretty much his, right? So for me, it got to be Marvin Gaye. It got to be. Listen. Key brought it up, and I think people really be sleeping on Stevie Wonder. Like people really be sleeping on Stevie.
Yeah.
Like this dude produced, arranged, wrote pretty much all his albums. So gotta go Marvin, Stevie. I gotta give it to Prince, and I love Al Green. I just love Al Green. That's just what it is.
Boy,
I love Al Green.
Ain't nothing like that button down, unbuttoned shirt with that medallion. You know what I'm talking about? That's my dude, bro. I grew up, but I love the blues too. So and it's rhythm and blues. So This is a tough one.
You know, I thought Bobby Brown, but it just his catalog isn't big. Babyface. Key said Babyface.
Babyface, yeah, Babyface.
Babyface is a good one too. Listen.
Chris Brown. I mean, if you want to,
you talk about 2000s. If you talk about 2000s, yeah, I
it's like R&B. Chris Brown hard. Usher hard.
Usher's
Chris
not.
Brown and Usher.
No, we talk about Mount Rushmore. You can't put Usher in the Mount Rushmore.
Now I'm gonna tell you guys a guy that will
Usher?
go. I'm gonna tell you guys a guy that's gonna go slept on, but he's probably the most sampled artist next to James Brown of our time. But you go back and listen to some of his songs, Willie Hutch. Go back and listen to Willie Hutch, whether it's Sunshine Lady, whether it's, give me some of that good old love. Like I Choose You. Willie Hutch catalog is deep. It's been sampled. Most people listen to his songs and be like, damn, my favorite rap song is sampled off that. Southern rappers have been sampling him for 30 years. It's hard not to put him up there.
I think he's like on like the Hoover Dam. I don't know about Mount Rushmore. He's more like
His songs sound good. Like they were good in this time, but they sound better now that somebody actually was like, "Let me sample this."
Yeah. I get it. Listen, I see Bobby was saying like how Usher. Listen, I don't think Usher is on the Mount Rushmore of how. That's just me personally.
What's my guy that sing Superfly?
Curtis Mayfield.
Curtis Mayfield. Hey,
That Curtis Mayfield, another one.
Curtis Mayfield hard. I'm talking about you can let it ride. You just let that ride just all the way.
Yes, I just thought this would be a great open discussion. I knew the chat was going to get involved. All I know is this: if Luther didn't have all them damn covers, he's on my Mount Rushmore. He's on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize how much Luther covered so many songs, though, because a lot of people heard it and thought it was simply his. No, Luther is the king of karaoke, baby.
Yeah, man.
He's the king of karaoke.
You know who does it? You know who gets a lot of respect, but her name didn't come up? Anita Baker.
Let's put Anita Baker. Listen, I would let Anita Baker, and really, to be honest, I'm Perry White, but Barry White. I mean, for real, Barry White hard, bro.
You go on some places now, cause now if you bring in Barry White, then you gotta bring up Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, I saw a couple Isaac Hayes in there as well. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, with all those, I just don't know how Usher slides into Mount Rushmore. It's only 4 spots, okay?
What about the 5 heartbeats?
Well, you stupid. Can't nobody sound like Already Came.
It's a movie, but come on.
Temptations.
Hey, David Ruffin.
Nah, bro. Come on, stop it.
Bro, you crazy. David Ruffin hard.
Tina Marie? Nah.
Yeah, there's some things I think you just don't understand. Like, David Ruffin was hard.
I like this 4. Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Barry White. I don't mind that. 4.
That's solid.
That's a solid 4. That's a solid 4. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, okay. Last thing before I go, yeah. I would take Tony Tone over Usher. That's just me personally. I love Tony Tone. I love him.
Tony Tone is hard, but Usher is harder.
Listen, I love Usher. I just like Tony Tone. That's just me. I like Usher. I'm just not like a lot of Usher. It's just like
Usher hard, bro.
Confessions to me is probably one of the best R&B albums of the 2000s ever. You know what I'm saying?
That's 10 kids in one night off of Usher.
Yeah. Confessions is that album alone is just untouchable. But
and see, I guess I'm looking at like baby making music. Excuse me. I mean, I'm thinking about what I can make another kid off of, and maybe that's my problem with this.
That's R&B.
Yeah,
that's what I assume.
I need something I can get some strokes off to. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm judging this too. Stroke music, right? Is that too much?
Pause, man. Just pause.
That's the same thing. He over here was like, man. He's like, David Ruffin was hard. I'm like, hey,
David Ruffin, like, you ain't really finna
really finna
just knock nothing down. Listen to Michael Jackson though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't think he was R&B.
I'm not trying to listen to Michael Jackson knocking something down. Now,
It's
he
the
may
same
have
thing
one
I
or
say
two.
about Boys to Men. Boys to Men, to me, is not R&B. I'm sorry.
What is it then?
They're like pop, white. Listen, they don't make any baby stroking music. I'm saying all that. Although we come to the end of the road and Mama and Let It Snow. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I'll make a baby off Let It Snow. I will.
Now you got me.
I'll make a baby off Let It Snow.
Really?
Yeah, I will. That's my Christmas. You talking about Christmas? Hey, what is Mariah Carey considered? Can we throw Mariah Carey in this?
I think she's. That old Mariah was R&B. That 90s.
Yeah, old Mariah Carey. Yeah.
That 90s Mariah. Hey, so I know you're coming in here late. We're talking about your Mount Rushmore.
I was lit. Look, your job work. I'll ask you this in the shower. I'm already ready. Prince, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye.
Ooh, came on. I like that.
I'm gonna tell you why. Context. Marvin Gaye, first black artist to do a social album. Also, the first black artist to put his personal life on wax. Go check out the Hear My Dear album.
Yep.
Fire. Do your research on it. Fire. Marvin Gaye. Everybody talk about Thriller. No, man. Off the Wall is hands down the ish. Prince. The mere fact that a dude came out, controversy, and went from controversy to head to, we're gonna go from there. I mean, no other. Then he did it in panties too. So I mean, you know what I'm saying. You got to give it there, man. Then Stevie Wonder, musical genius, bro. And then you could take your album, Inner Visions, Talking Book, Songs in the Key of Life, which is everybody go by, but you got an album before then, man. Music of My Mind, man. The albums are just it's endless.
I love it.
I
absolutely love it. All right, let's get it. That's what I'm talking about. So came in with the Eddie.
He had plenty of time to sit on the toilet, go get a drink, come on back, spin the block, and come on with it. Right? He had plenty of time.
Now look, I'm gonna tell you like
right
this.
at us. Like
I'm gonna tell you like this, because BJ even brought some good pointers when he mentioned Willie Hutch, but there's some songs he left off. Curtis Mayfield claim to fame is he did the most blaxploitation soundtracks more than anybody else. That's his claim to fame.
And them songs are forever.
Yeah, I mean they are.
Whitney Houston, is she? I mean, what? That's one of the most beautiful voices to ever grace the earth.
Whitney Houston.
She'll go gospel.
Whitney Houston got the voice, but how many jams does Whitney have?
Are you gonna question Whitney Houston jams? Are you questioning Whitney Houston jams?
He is a Whitney Houston fan, so I'm not even gonna go there with y'all because I'm gonna have to deal with her off base.
My wife is too, and she just sighed when she heard me say that.
Yeah, you can't question no Whitney Houston jams. Like Whitney Houston will jam. You can let that, but then you said right, Anita Baker.
I'll take Anita Baker over Whitney Houston.
Here's the thing: Whitney Houston jams don't supplant anybody on my Mount Rushmore.
I agree. But I'm not trying to get in trouble, so let's move on. She is like peering at me right now.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you who I think hard and Zoe, you Mississippi all day, Johnny Taylor. But I know that's more blues, but he rhythm and blues, R&B too.
R&B at first.
With some Johnny Taylor.
You R&B at first.
Yeah, I rock with Johnny Taylor.
But see, if you want to go that route, you say Johnny Taylor, I'll raise you Tyrone Davis.
I would go Tyrone Davis and even Bobby Womack.
I like Bobby Womack. I do like Bobby.
Don't say it too loud.
Yeah, because Bobby Womack can sleep with your wife. You better watch him.
You talking about the Dirty Mac and the All Stars, Bobby Womack. Who else? Your boy Derek. What's his name? Played for the Lakers. What's his name? Derek Fisher.
Oh my
Another one of the Dirty Mac and the All Stars.
We going out. We done just flipped this shit, huh?
All right, let's move on. Hey, this just came down today. FAMU will start their quarterback 2, Junior Meritovich, Saturday against Lincoln. I want to know you guys' thoughts. Mine personally, I'm gonna start off real quick. I'm a fan, but I'm not a fan. And the reason I'm not a fan is because I feel like you want that offense to get humming with Musa, but I do like it because I think it's great to kind of see what you have in Junior and see what he can get against a lower opponent. What's you guys' thoughts and opinions?
I agree with you, but I have a question. How much eligibility does Junior have left?
I
He's
think
he's a
2 years.
2 years.
Yes, 2 years. I think he was a freshman when he played y'all that first time. Remember when he came in for Rashawn in the fourth quarter? I think he was a freshman then.
Okay. I'm actually with you. I can see it both ways, but the only reason why I don't really like it is because I know FAMU on offense has actually put up points, but we all can agree that the biggest question mark that you have with them is at quarterback. And I just feel like you need continuity without missing a game at that position. But that's us because obviously, Willie feels different. But again, I test it week after week after week because when they're struggling, it's due to his play. But when they're good, it's because of all the playmakers. So I wouldn't want – it's almost like a playoff game by virtue of them missing this game. I know, the Florida Classic is coming up, the last game, I believe, for them. But still, I wouldn't do that this particular game. But maybe he feels like I'll start Musa the last game to get that back if he's out of whack. So, but if not, anything can happen, man. I mean, here you might risk. It's football. Injury can happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's too much to risk. I would want the continuity, so I would actually keep Musa in and hope that he can actually progress to the Florida Classic and segue to the SWAC championship game.
BJ?
Hey man, I'm with you guys. You got to get that offense rolling and rolling consistently, which is something they're not doing. I mean, play them a quarter. I mean, you don't have to play them a whole game, but just to sit him, it kind of make me question now: is he a little bit banged up that we don't know about? And this is a get healthy week. But I'm interested in seeing what Maritovic is able to do. A lot of people have been clamoring for him. Particularly when Bashawn, man, when I said Bashawn McCray, when McKay was the quarterback. Damn you, Bashawn. People were clamoring for him, even at the beginning of the season. So they'll give him some opportunity to get some live bullets, and kind of ease him into it next year.
What you got, P?
It doesn't matter if anything wrong with Jeremy Musa or not. I think when you look at this ball game, you scheduled this for a reason. It's on the back end for a reason. Allow your starting quarterback to be able to get an opportunity to get some rest. You got a big game against Bethune-Cookman to close the game out, a rivalry game. And then, you got a SWAC championship game. No need to risk Jeremy Musa when you know on the back end, you potentially outside of this have 3 games left on the schedule besides Bethune, a SWAC championship, and a Celebration Bowl berth. It's much needed for Jeremy Musa. He's done everything you needed him to do to get you thus far into the season by winning games, solidifying home field advantage for a SWAC championship, and wrapping up a SWAC East. He needs a break, and it's okay to give him a break, and this is a much-needed break. And when you made this schedule, you looked at this as a potential break for whoever you needed as you make that run on the back end. So I think there's nothing wrong. I'm okay with allowing Junior to be able to get in and get some reps. Let's see what your backup look like, because at any given time, something could happen to Jeremy where he gets banged up, and your backup needs some live snaps. You've been in games so far this year where he has not been in opportunities to get those live snaps because of the slow start and having to come back in the second half. But I think this is perfect to get him those live snaps. And just in case you need him on the back end, you already got an idea and some film of what he looks like in live gameplay.
No, I think that's where most of our are at, because we see the bigger picture of getting your backup live snaps. It's just like Zoe and BJ said, the continuity, the offense. Musa has been the weakest link of the FAMU team. If we're just calling the spade a spade, it's how he plays his game. So if he's banged up, I completely understand. If he's not banged up, I would have gave him a half, then gave Junior the other half and finish off the game. We should be up 21, 24 points or anything like that. But if it goes weary, the FAMU fans are not going to be happy, but that's life as a head coach in the SWAC football. Now, I want to preface this next question. It's not a Dion question, but it's a Dion question, right? HBCU, what have been your okay? Because you all below me have been nothing but historians. I mean, you guys have raised up in HBCU football. So you've seen the last 2 years, and Zoe, nobody as close as you to what football looked like in the HBCU space with Dion. What have you taken away from this year in the state of HBCU football this year without Dion? What's you guys' opinion on that?
I know you asking for HBCU football, but I would actually preface the question with what's the difference with SWAC football? Because I don't think Dion really made a difference with regards to the perception or anything or how it looked with regards to the MEAC. I know they like to treat us like a monolith, you know what I'm saying, group us all together. But I think for the SWAC, I don't see anything tangibly different from the conference standpoint. I think when it comes to Jackson State, the lightning rod is gone. And the obvious is, less eyeballs are on it, you know what I'm saying, from the masses. But just from all of us who live and breathe the SWAC, I don't really see anything tangibly gone with him being gone outside of saying from a recruiting standpoint with names or more high profile recruits interested in coming. And from that standpoint, as well as just the casual football fan who otherwise wouldn't pay attention to a SWAC game, not tuning into it. Outside of that, I think from the SWAC purists, we don't see a difference because it's business as usual. It's just the obvious things are actually gone. Now, from a Jackson State standpoint, there are some tangible things that are different. But to preface your question, when you say from that landscape, not so much. It's more or less some things tangibly different with Jackson State, more so than the whole entire conference.
I like that. Perry, what you got on the state of SWAC football, HBCU football without the lightning rod of Dion?
I know what you're missing now is on the bottom of that ticker on ESPN. Seeing Jackson State's name constantly. What you're missing now is watching random stuff and somebody yelling Jackson State. What you're missing now is watching random celebrities coming to Jackson State and showing what they're doing. You're missing the marketing aspect of what he brought to it. And it's the superstar status. It is the spotlight. Now, for us who have been around HBCU football, because let's be honest, Scotty, Deion Sanders got you into this space, right? Without Dion, you wouldn't even be in this space of dealing with who we are, right? And because what you laughing about?
That's facts.
Right. Because you got to hear like, I don't know nothing about none of this, but I'm gonna figure it out as I go. Because when you first got in here, what they say, you got to get your SWAC
hours up.
Right? They ain't said that to you in a long time because you've been getting your SWAC hours up, right? You'd have been probably to more stadiums and more games than most people who actually been following the SWAC for years. But it was the fact that Dion created that type of vibe to where it drew you in and it drew many others. You know how many YouTube channels and shows were talking about SWAC and HBCU football simply because of Dion? Hey, they done went down. I don't hear all the conversations. I don't hear all the chatter no more. So I think without Dion, that light that he shed, that opportunity that he was able to give the world. Because think about it. I was watching something some months back, and they were talking about Jackson State and talking about the SWAC, and it was white folks on the Power 5 level, and they call it Jackson State and thinking the SWAC is a junior college. Right? But it was the idea. Think about, what is it, the 60-minute special. Think about college game day. We missed that when it comes to the brand. We missed that when you saw SWAC Media Day. It was people who never gave a damn about the SWAC was in there trying to cover the SWAC. And it was a great opportunity for the other programs. It was a great opportunity for the other coaches. Just think, Eddie Robinson could have did that. He ain't SWAC to any other coach in this conference, and it never would have hit on nothing. But the fact he did it to Dion, it took off. Had Stephen A. Smith talking about it. Had Uncle Shannon Sharp talking about it. It just took off. He meant something to the sport. Now, whether people liked it or not, I loved it just off the simple fact of the publicity. And I know that the old folks say all attention ain't good attention, right? But we needed that attention. Now, it was on us as the institution of what we did with the attention, right? Jackson did what they was going to do with the attention, and Deion and his sons and everybody else who recorded and archived his time at Jackson State showed what they was going to do. Your boy Neely, didn't it blow him up? Didn't it take Neely to another level? He with the white folks now. He at home. He eating green bean casserole and stuff now.
Well, more ways than one.
That's all I got on it.
Oh man.
Oh, go ahead, BJ. It's so you.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Man, there's been a difference. I think the biggest difference, like Zoe said, has been with Jackson State. You ain't got those red sofas around the stadium anymore. When you watch ESPN Final, remember for the last 2 years, Jackson State always had a spot on ESPN Final. And that's not there anymore. I think for the rest of us, man, it was business as usual while he was there. It's business as usual now. Make no bones about it. People weren't here to cover the SWAC. They were here to cover Dion. All right. And with the moment when he left, their interest in what the conference was, and could be left along with him. And they went to Boulder, Colorado. You know what's going to happen when he leaves there? They go pack their shit up and they go leave Boulder, Colorado and follow him to wherever he is.
Facts.
So I think, the place I noticed it was SWAC Media Day this year. There was a lot of people in the building that I knew as opposed to people that I didn't know. Like Perry said, there was a lot of people that had podcasts a year ago talking nothing but Dion and Jackson State. Didn't know what half the stuff they were talking about, but they had it. And now, you know what I'm saying? You know, they back to doing, I don't know, Animal Planet voiceovers or what have you. So, man, there has been a difference. And I really can't say whether it's to the better or, you know, to the negative. But for me, it's business as usual.
I like it. Zoe, me and you talked offline, and I want to give people the insight of what you told me, because I was like, damn, that's pretty dope. You said Dion leaving Colorado would put them in a worse situation than Jackson could have ever been in when he leaves Colorado. Can you explain that to the people? I thought that was a dope insight.
Yeah, because first off, when you look at us, it's let me just press my comments and saying,
yeah,
HBCU ball is already looked at as lesser than, you know what I'm saying, to the masses. So when you look at Jackson State, one difference is, you know, Deion Sanders left here, and we actually end up hiring a coach on staff who's also a famous alum, one of our favorite sons coaching the school. Someone who wanted the job that the fan base could rally around, right? Now, even everything that happened when you talk about the exits of players, which honestly falls in line with the new norm of college football, because it's free agency for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so in the construct of that, you know, you salvage some players, and then, you know, we're able to move on to the next season. Colorado, remember, this is Deion Sanders, and T.C. Taylor, an alum of Jack State, followed him. And having, you know, slightly bit of success, not to have the season we want, but still having some success better than what Deion Sanders is having right now. Now, you juxtapose that to when Deion Sanders leaves, Colorado is Colorado. Nobody wants to be there. And look, I'm old enough to when Colorado was a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? When they were getting players out of Louisiana and out of California, when they had Coach McCartney and they were winning championships, I remember it vividly. But then they sucked since then. True story. And so it's not a destination place. So bear in mind, whenever and Deion Sanders is at lightning rod. So imagine what the coaching what the coaches that's going to apply for their job. Imagine what it's going to look like. They're going to have an exodus of players just like Jackson State did. But the difference is who wants to follow that up. And I can tell you right now, it would not be a well-known, popular coach that's going to want that job after Deion Sanders, because you're following him. And he's a lightning rod. It's going to feel like even more of a love than what Jackson State has with T.C. Taylor. It won't be an attractive job. They'll get someone because it's an opportunity and it's a Power 5 program in the new Big 12. Since they're going to be there, the money's there. But it'll be an up-and-coming coach. It'll be a rebuild job, but it won't be an attractive job. They're going to have some players that's going to leave. And then now the only saving grace they have now that's going to be different in this new construct of college football is they'll freely have the ability to play, to pay players. So that may be the one thing that could kind of offset it, Scotty, because you're talking about, I could dish out millions to at least 30 of my players or 40 of my players to get them in here. But again, you're talking about a complete overhaul and rebuild with an up and coming coach in a deep conference. So we're already better off than what people imagine, in this first year in TC Taylor. So there aren't any well-known alums from Colorado that's coaching. You know what I'm saying? And again, you're following the light. It's not so much that he's going to win and have success. Deion Sanders is Michael Jordan in cleats.
Facts.
And to follow that up, it's going to be a different mode, man.
And let's not forget, Deion had Jackson believing so much from when he rolled in there talking about, I believe, Jackson State feel like they should be Colorado joining the Big 12 right now. Like they was out here talking about we want Bama, we ready to upgrade, we ready to lead this swag shit alone. We ready to go to the Big 12.
You hear something from 4 people, you gonna take it the wrong way.
Come on, man.
Give me that baton back here. Give me that baton.
Ain't that not 1400 club, like where y'all's strength was built from? It was just like it was this arrogance that came along with Deion, and you start to see this like Jackson State fan base, as of course, Southern and Jackson know the arrogance that goes into it, but that was another level once Deion got there, because never have I ever heard Jackson State fans thinking that they were better than the SWAC. And Jackson thought they was high end, what they say high cotton. They was ready to say, forget the SWAC. We better than the SWAC now because look who we got. And the conversations, come on, Zoe. It was real life conversations.
I heard Sunbelt. I know I heard Sunbelt. I know I heard Sunbelt.
You trying to call us the A&T or the SWAC, man? What you trying to do?
Y'all was close for a minute though. Y'all was close.
I just want to remind you, I didn't forget the conversation.
Now hold on. I'm gonna say this. Now see, just because you hear something from a few, don't speak for the whole, man.
I mean, we know that, but that few was real vocal. When Deion made that comment, when he told the Big 12, like there's a school in Mississippi, man, Deion gonna take us to the Big 12. But no, he's not. And it's like everybody everybody bought into that. If you watch Deion's press conferences, right, with SWAC media, Deion could have said, "Hey, I got a 6'5" defensive end coming from Mars, and the spaceship is gonna land on Tuesday," and no one would give pushback. The only thing that they would say was, "Good job, Coach Brian." Like no one would ask any challenging questions, like, "Hey, how is this gonna work? How did you get this cleared? Past the Space Force?" Nothing. It's just, "Good job, Coach Brian." Coach Brian, how is everything there in Jackson? I hope you're doing well. And everybody was drinking. Right? It was the Jim Jones effect.
Zoe was drinking it too. They was calling him Jesus Christ.
No. I drunk to a certain point.
I will say that Zoe had some limits. Because Zoe would call me and be like, "Hey, man, this bullshit."
Man, when you said get past the Space
Yeah, like we ain't cleared enough with Space Force yet. Like, how you getting players from Mars and we ain't even been there? Like, he could have said anything, and nobody was gonna check him.
The prime effect was real. So to go back to the initial thing, it was real, and it had a lot of attention on the SWAC that otherwise probably wasn't here. Because let's be honest, the SWAC, who we are, all of us that's here, the SWAC is,
No, I'm reading the comment. Go ahead.
Oh, the SWAC, we're truly in a bubble. Like, let's be honest. We're in the bubble, and the type of respect and honor and appreciation we put towards SWAC football, towards the game, the atmosphere, with our institutions, because we're so much in this bubble, it's almost like when you go somewhere and somebody say, "I've never heard of Jackson State, I've never heard of Southern," it's appalling. It's like, how the hell do you not know? But when you in that bubble and you've been in that bubble for so long, it kind of has you messed up to think that, how does people not know about this? But there are a lot of people that truly don't know what this is. And it's people in the very states that these institutions very well have been educating people for hundreds of years and still don't know. And so what Deion did was able to open that door, whether we want to admit it or not. He actually did open the door, and whether we liked it or didn't like it, he still gave people. I mean, when Diddy get at the BET Awards, and he talking about Jackson State, how many people you thought in that audience knew who the hell Jackson State was and talking about the swag? But fair. It was the fact he was saying it and talking about it. He had white folks coming in droves trying to figure out, Deion, what are you doing in Jackson State? You know, John Elway on the sidelines. He got, you know, everybody. Pat McAfee learning about the Sonic Boom.
Yeah, he was at the Battle of the Bands. He was at the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it was a real effect, and it mattered because none of them people are around anymore.
Well, for me, I think when I'm gonna say this part, when you mention the prime effect, I think it's subjective to whoever you ask. But for me, when you mention the prime effect, and I'm talking about from the onset, what I really clung to was hope. And what I mean by hope is a changing of the guard. And what that speaks for me is the actual thought process, because you remember he came in and said we're going to change the game. Now, being behind the scenes and having some conversations, what that entailed for me was the hope of a significant change. Because I've always, again, I'm not going to make any bones about it, about having an FBS, HBCU conference. Now, whether that's semantics, how people want to picture it getting there, but I feel like Deion Sanders was the perfect lightning rod to lead that change. And that was the path that I was hoping that we would go down. I'm not talking about the super huge conference because we know every team can go, but I'm talking about the new the new NCAA, FBS landscape. When you talk about, in me, the construct of an HBCU FBS conference, I feel like it was the best of both worlds because even if you talk about, and that's why A&T is suffering now. When you talk about us, we have a niche market. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I said years past, we're the schools in the SWAC were FBS schools in FCS clothing. It wasn't about the product on the field. I'm just saying for what we play for. If you talk to somebody who goes to a Southern Miss or any school in the Sun Belt, we have the same goals today. There is no different. We play to win our conference. We play to win our conference championship and go to a bowl game.
Yeah.
Same thing. The only difference is they have more scholarships and they have the ability to make more money. But we have the same goals and we play toward the same thing. But when Deion Sanders coming in, the thought process of having that, I'm telling you, it was something tangible to strive for. Because if I were to tell you guys right now, today, if there was some type of conversation, and I'll keep it small, you just factor in a FAMU, Tennessee State, North Carolina A&T, Southern Jack State, Grambling, South Carolina State. Let's just say 9 schools. You got an FBS, HBCU conference. You get the best of both worlds. You have the possibility to get more money. And let's just say there was, I'll use you, Scotty, there was a dedicated network for that year round. Money's coming in with equal revenue sharing. But you're on an FBS platform because all we want to do is play each other. Let's keep it a buck. So we're able to do that, but then you can schedule now instead of those money games, you have at least equal playing field, and now you can leverage yourself to say you're going to play a Sunbelt school and Conference USA school and not get your rear end kicked because you have the resources to do so. That's what I felt like Deion Sanders coming was going to be a bridge to. And then, because I felt like had he had success, now it's a bridge for other coaches wanting to come to the SWAC. And it kind of felt that way when Eddie Robinson coming in, though he didn't have the experience, it still would have been, I feel like, a pipeline to get more guys interested. They made some going to have some success, some wasn't. But I felt like had we did that, that's tangible change. That's something that we could rally around. And we're still being our own niche in our own bubble. So that's what the prime effect felt like to me.
Did y'all feel it was bad? Because a lot of people really did not like Deion. A lot of people really, truly hated Deion. And that hate carries over to Colorado with him. You know, for you guys, and I guess now I ask a question, do you feel like that hate was warranted? You know, because even the fact that he left Jackson State. Now, why he left Jackson, I don't know. But I tell a lot of people, if somebody comes to you with big money compared to what you're making now, it's kind of hard for you to say no to that. But like I said, Deion, the first person I ever saw make it out the hood, make it big, go back to the hood and made it big again. Like who? I've never seen that. But It's just the idea that people real life hated Dion, and that hate carries over to Colorado wanting to see them fail. And I know it was because, like you said, though, he had people believing. He said it made it seem like this was going to be a setup for a long time. Like this was going to be a 10-year that I would sit down to make this better. I was sitting here to uplift you in Jackson, Mississippi, and then to bail from that. Do you think like he kind of plateaued, like he saw it was as far as it was going to go? And does that warrant people to truly feel that hate towards him, not towards Jackson, but solely towards Dion compared to what he said he was going to do for HBCUs?
No, his ex was playing. No.
Yeah.
His ex was playing. Hindsight is 2020. So I'll make it short. Go back to last season. If y'all been watching college football, name me any time, and I mean one time, you've ever had multiple coaches added to a staff during the season. So do you know how you get you an outstanding strength coach from Georgia? You let them know what your plans are. Hey, I'm going to be in Jackson for one more year, and I'm on my way out. You know how you get another coach coming from Florida State? I mean, that just left Florida, that was one of the best recruiters in the country. You know how you get him? And his title after the Grambling game is special assistant to the coach. I'll let you know what my plans are because I'm getting up out of here at the end of the season. Just go back and look. Everything is there. Oh, also, Deion Sanders, when he came to Jackson, that wasn't a short-time move. It was playing a year in advance. It was playing. So I mean, yeah, God has hand in everything, but there's a thing called free will too.
Hey, look, man, look. My only complaint with Dion, man, was that he took something that he knew was important to black people, particularly in the South, God. And to me, man, he used that, man, and he hustled it. So I'm gonna use that same rhetoric. I'm gonna use that tone. I'm gonna use that same, the Lord this, the Lord that a Baptist preacher does, and I'm gonna use that on them people down there. And I always tell people, it's amazing that God always tells Deion Sanders to be places that he wants to be. Like like God always tells him to be somewhere that he wants to be. It's amazing how that kind of works out that way. Um, Look, he did what he needed to do. Jackson State gave him an opportunity because no one else was going to give him that opportunity.
Facts. That's facts.
And a lot of times people want to talk about what Dion did for Jackson State. You have to talk about first what Jackson State did for Dion, because if they don't give him that opportunity, the Colorado opportunity doesn't come. Dion wanted to coach at the FBS level, and he did not want to be anyone's coordinator or assistant to be able to do it. He just wanted to be given the job and the keys, and the reasoning was because I'm Dion. And Jackson State did him; they gave him that opportunity. So I think that in turn, he gave Jackson State a lot of publicity, a lot of attention, a lot of things that he helped Jackson State on. Now, he didn't create a lot of stuff that people think that he did for Jackson State. A lot of that stuff was in the works, and he kind of took it and put it out there in a way that made you think that he was solely responsible for a lot of things. But that's that hustler gift a gab that he has, and he's honestly he's taking the same approach to Colorado. The only difference is the mainstream media don't fall for that stuff like we do down here.
Well, let me add one other part too. I always pay attention when someone has the gift of gab and everyone around you can't have a gift of gab. There's the reason for that. So to the masses, people say, well, nobody's saying anything. Why didn't the school say anything? It's a reason why you can't say something.
Listen, I've said it. I've had conversations with most of you guys, all of you offline. Listen, winning covers a multitude of sins. And when you're not winning and you're dealing with white mainstream media, those questions are going to get more intrusive, and more intrusive. Nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to say, oh, it's Dion, let me not ask that question. And you can see it in the press conferences of how agitated he is starting to get with the process. But this isn't a Colorado show. We're going to keep it HBCU live as always.
And can I say one more thing, and I'll leave it alone. The only issue I had was when you had a superstar status like that, what he was able to do at Jackson, and Jackson got the publicity. I just thought the SWAC as a whole dropped the ball because, like BJ said, It wasn't about what he did for Jackson. It was the opportunity that Jackson gave him to be a head coach when nobody else would. The other issue that I had was the SWAC not taking full advantage of being able to have that type of star-studded power and not taking advantage to be able to bring that in and use that for everybody.
No, let me stop you right there. The SWAC wasn't allowed to, just like Jackson State wasn't. See, you got
to explain that to me.
I am. See, Jackson's like, okay, I'm gonna use you, Scotty. You know how you mentioned one time before about why doesn't Jack State take the opportunity with selling jerseys? Remember how you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you notice, they did, but it was so late on the way out.
Yeah, on his way out in his last year.
The thing is, for example, when I mentioned about not being able to talk, NDAs are everywhere. That's the first thing by design. And Prime wouldn't allow Jackson State to profit off of him. Also, he wouldn't allow the SWAC to profit off of him. This is not my opinion. This is fact.
Wow. So but even with media, video, just the idea of just
to answer your point, now there were things that the SWAC could do in lieu of that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was from a marketing standpoint or putting other things out there that they could do on the end, but just monetarily doing things to make profit, he wasn't going to allow it. It's like he wouldn't allow Jack State to do it either.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the fact of the media, the highlight. Because if Deion Sanders stepped foot on my campus, this is my campus. He can't control shit that we doing on my campus. And if he on that sideline, we got every right to film, highlight, create whatever we want in order to use him to push us. And that's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing, Perry. You're making that comment. That's after he's there. You got to sign NDAs to get him there.
To get him.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying.
Oh, what he's saying is you got to agree to the NDAs and all my prerequisites before I even step foot on campus, or this isn't even happening. So the leverage is all in Deion's camp.
Let me share some else with you. When you're dealing with Deion Sanders, you're not even dealing with him in a one-on-one. I'm pulling the curtain back. Deion Sanders has
what we need.
No, he has a machine behind him. You might want to go look at what SPAC Entertainment is. He has a marketing firm and a marketing company behind him. So when you negotiate with him, you're not negotiating with him one-on-one. You have multiple people that you're dealing with. That's what I'm telling you. It's a lot to this that the outside world just don't know. I'm
like you ever wondered on the sweat call how everybody else went in alphabetical order, but he went last.
He goes last.
And then when you saw the attendance list, so we on the Zoom call, you see the attendance list. You saw that list go from like 20 to like 80. That was by design too. Listen, and he was only supposed to be on a call for a certain period of time. He was going to never go over that.
And then I know for a fact that if he would tell Andrew who he could and would not answer questions from, like you're like, hey, I'm not answering this question from them. I'm not doing this question. If they come up, I'm not answering. Like so you had Dylan. So, I mean, like I said, listen, Zoe, listen. Yeah, pull the Band-Aid off. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't understand of the relationship between JSU and Deion. It's always just been a Deion, but understanding what JSU had to give him to make him even be there.
So was y'all held hostage? Sound like y'all was held hostage, and at the time, y'all was forced to have to like this and want this until he decided to move on.
Not necessarily so, but you can say it's hostage in certain aspects depending on your lens and how you look at it. But I do want to say this. I do want to make up this last point because, some people say, I'm going to make 2 points and I'm done. First thing is his pay. I want to finally address this, put this to bed. Deion Sanders only made $300,000. That is a lie. Deion Sanders made $1.5 million this last year.
Oh!
So you gonna have to break that down. You just can't come on here.
I'm gonna tell you. It's simple math. So there were grants that were actually applied for Jack State. So the practice field we got, everybody know we got it from Walmart. So $1.5 million grant. So every time we got a grant, Jack State knew it's the cost of doing business. You have an admin fee. They gave 40% to Prime. The rest of the money went to take care of the field or everything else we did. So now the benefit is those grants are applied over years. So that money is still being applied to Jack State as we speak. So now that 40% that we were giving to Prime is actually going to the athletic department. We had a grant from Procter and Gamble. You have one for Walmart, and we have another one from another company. Excuse me. So Prime getting 40% of every grant that we were getting. Also, when Prime was leaving, the state of Mississippi made him an offer.
The state
of Mississippi made him an offer.
Well, we talking like the governor?
Well, the state of Mississippi.
I heard about on Life when he said the state of Mississippi. I want to know who he was talking about on Life when he was talking.
Just the state of Mississippi made an offer to keep him, and he just simply
state of Mississippi. Ain't interested in your meteorological though. That's it.
You don't got no business around here, boss.
And he pretty much just said, "There's nothing you can do that you can't match."
Dog, so I knew he was gone when the week y'all played Bama State. And he kept going at Bama State hard. And he said in the press conference that Bama State blocked y'all from getting rooms in Montgomery. And so y'all had to end up staying in Birmingham. Then I had somebody that worked at a certain establishment in Birmingham. They say your boy up here and he with Jimmy Raines and Bo Jackson and all of that. And we put 2 and 2 together, did some digging to see that y'all rooms had been booked in Montgomery. Had been booked, and someone came in and canceled them like 3 weeks before the game. So Dion can meet with old Jimmy Raines. So they were trying to sell Dion to Jimmy Raines on the Auburn job.
One last point. I'm done. The ticket sales. Let me address that because I had 2 points. Let me address that. For the person with the marketing team who has receipts for everything, y'all still ain't wonder why y'all ain't got no receipts on the money that who's missing. Deion Sanders has a huge ego. I think y'all all know this. So if Jackson State, this little old black school, was really stiffing him on some money, and everybody's complaining, don't y'all think y'all would have had some receipts by now from this little podunk school down in Mississippi? I mean, because trust me, he has a record now. Every time something's wrong with his live, he got receipts because he love to pull them out. So why he ain't pulling no receipts out yet? I got time.
You got time.
I'm just saying. The point I'm making is because everything that was paid to him, he received. See, I don't have look. I'm thankful for Deion Sanders. I'm thankful for everything that he did. The only problem that I had out of everything was the way that he left. You know, the last week of the school. I don't care who you are. Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Deion Sanders, Michael Jordan. I don't care. You're not going to disrespect my school and disrespect my city. I have a problem with that. But because I personally think had he left right, he would have had all of Jackson being Colorado fans right now. True story.
That's facts.
My problem is the way that he left. But then the other problem is that too is as loud as he is, as big of a lightning rod as he is, whenever we're in HBCU. Now, he was in that space that he knows the things that we all have to deal with. So the fact that you know it's things out there being said and being highlighted or pointed out about this institution that you're leaving, and you don't pull the receipts for that institution only for your damn self, I have a problem with that. Because there's a narrative out there. For an example, he heard about the narrative about the money being missing, or whatever the case may be, but he would never put a receipts out and say, you know what, that's not true. But let me tell you this, when it's a player on the opposing team, or some other little boy job, he's quick to say, that's not true. We should do this. Because I'm going to tell you what God don't like. God don't like ugly. See, again, it's subjective about how and when we want to use God. You see what I'm saying? So he's not going to come in there and say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to let y'all do this school that gave me my first opportunity. You know, no, they didn't do that. They did right by me. Because, again, if we did wrong, somebody love to bring receipts. But y'all ain't see no receipts on. But when y'all find something, please feel free to bring me some. I'm gonna hold my breath. I'm gonna hold my breath. Please don't let me die.
Let me tell you how Deion treated y'all. Deion treated y'all like y'all was some. I'm just gonna say it tonight, and they get mad. Deion treated y'all like y'all was some country niggas. He came in like he was the smartest thing in the state of Mississippi, and that's exactly how he looked around and how he felt like he was treating y'all. Am I lying?
Well, turnabout is fair play. He over there in snowy white Colorado.
You know, the air tastes a little bit better.
I'm just saying, the air is cleaner. They got the pure white snow. His foot is healed. He can run out with the team. But how's that doing for him? And look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, y'all can go click this. He will retire effective immediately as soon as December next year. We already know that he's gonna be gone at the end of December next year. So if they don't win, if they lose 2 or 3 games next year, now go ahead, carry on, Perry.
I'm good.
Hold the mule.
So for any DDR out there that want to touch the hem of his garment.
We wasn't on that. We wasn't trying to have
I didn't say you.
You know,
okay, like
I didn't say you.
I wasn't trying to take the body of Christ from Dion, okay? and drink the blood, okay?
I knew it was the blood.
Determines when you need him.
it was the blood. It was the blood. Y'all crazy. Hey, so no, thank you for the insight, Zoe, about all the situation that went down. Hey guys, listen, we're gonna take it to a little off. It's not the end of the season, but we're gonna do some end of the season superlatives. It's pretty much over. You know what I'm saying? Jackson ain't going nowhere. No, neither is Southern probably. Let's start it off. Freshman of the year. Now, these are MEAC and SWAC superlatives. All right. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't got nothing for the MEAC. I ain't even gonna hold you on the freshman of the year. I ain't got nothing for him. Now,
man, that running back from South Carolina State. You gotta go with him.
Juwan Howell. Juwan Howell.
22.
22 what?
22 for South Carolina. They're running back.
Juwan Howell. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Juwan Howell from South Carolina. Yeah, he got that. He's running away with that. SWAC freshman of the year. What's up? What you got? And we're doing newcomer. Okay. God, no, Jesus Christ. So SWAC, my SWAC freshman of the year is Antonio Jones, Grambling, wide receiver. Man's a freaking monster. He's second in the league. He's second in the SWAC for receiving yards. It's probably the best receiver on Grambling as of right now. And I love Linden, but Antonio is that guy. What you got, BJ? Freshman of the year.
Antonio.
What you guys owe?
I'm gonna roll with him.
What you got, Perry?
I ain't even gonna front. In this age of the transfer portal, I don't really know many freshmen like that. Ain't nobody just stood out to me, just truly stood out. So I'm just gonna say what y'all say. But to be honest, like I really don't know just any freshman that just truly stood out to me this year.
Yeah, you got to go watch that kid Antonio Jones. He's actually
he's nice.
He's a stud.
I see him at the Classic.
Oh yeah, you go get a front row view.
See you at the Classic. I see you at the Classic.
Yeah, you gonna be front row view. All right, newcomer of the year. Give me your MEAC newcomer of the year. Give me your SWAC newcomer of the year. Joe, start with you. SWAC newcomer of the year.
Irv Mulligan.
Oh, surprise!
But I gotta be honest. On the MEAC, on newcomer, I wouldn't know who to say. Because I'm more familiar with everybody who was played previously, so I wouldn't be able to say who it was in the MEAC. But I will say in the SWAC, I'm gonna say Irv. But oh no, Sheree was there last year. I'm about to say Sheree, but he was there last year. Never mind. Yeah, Irv.
Perry, give me your SWAC newcomer of the year. If you have a MEAC newcomer of the year, hit me with that.
Yeah, my SWAC newcomer of the year is going to be that big man over at Alabama State lining up at wide receiver, Keyshawn Johnson. I think for me, what?
He was there last
year. He ain't new.
Oh, he was there. He didn't do nothing.
Yes, hell he did.
He won the Magic City Classic by himself last year.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
He won the Magic City Classic by himself last year.
Oh, well, shit. He's the newcomer of the year for me because I ain't know his ass last year. So, listen.
You make him sound like a used car. You make him sound like a used car.
We wasn't talking about him last year like we talking about him this year. So, look. Keyshawn Johnson.
He ain't new to y'all, but he new to me.
Hey. Whether y'all knew about him or not, hey, I like him. Listen, I saw him in that first game against Southern. Who the hell is this dude, right? I didn't see him last year. And Southern hasn't played Alabama State in a long time. So I understand what y'all saying, but I'm just gonna use him. Keyshawn Johnson for me. Alabama State, 46 receptions, 617 yards, receiving 6 touchdowns, averaging 13 yards a catch. That's a newcomer to me. I ain't know you last year, Keyshawn. I know you now, and I know you since the
You know
first
what? He
game of the
hates that
season.
state so much he couldn't. He had to stand pat and still couldn't give it to Irv, Scott. And that's what that
Boy,
was.
boy.
And listen, Irv Mulligan, and everybody knows me. I really like Irv Mulligan, but I think Irv Mulligan was on track to really do
That's
something.
fair. His injury, his injury.
The injury derailed him. And listen, so
Oh, yeah.
our real life was going back and forth. And I guess now Keyshawn ain't truly a newcomer of the year, but the nigga newcomer of the year for me, all right? But I was really looking at Irv and I was looking at Keyshawn and Irv. I liked Irv from the moment I saw him in the MEAC SWAC challenge against South Carolina State. He was a power back. He was strong. It was one play he broke, looked like he was finna go down. And he just kept his speed. He kept his wit about himself. But the injury, the only thing that derailed him for me, but I guess because he's truly the newcomer, I will go Irv, but the newcomer for me, Keyshawn. And if I go over into the MEAC, I'm going to have to go Juwan Howell, South Carolina State, the running back, although you just put him as the freshman of the year. But I think newcomer of the year as well. 97 carries on the year, 785 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's averaging 87 yards rushing a game. That kid right there is an absolute beast. And he single-handedly seems like he's gotten South Carolina State at least back relevant because it hadn't been Corey Fields Jr. He's been so up and down, but Juwan Howell just been able to be that extra factor for them. And I really do like him. He'll be my MEAC newcomer of the year.
BJ Jones, your newcomer of the year.
Man, it would either have to be Irv Mulligan. You look at he's been out, and I won't say he's still second in the conference in rushing.
Yes.
Unless you know what kind of hellacious year he's been having, it would either be Irv or Mikey Victor from Alabama State. The impact that he's made at the cornerback position, another 6'3" guy that's physical that can cover, and he fits like a glove into that defense.
No, absolutely. I think he's one of the highest rated corners in the SWAC. For me, and I've been seeing in the chat, my newcomer of the year would have, if Irv was not hurt, it would have been Irv hands down. I got to give it to FAMU's DN Anthony Dunn. Anthony Dunn Jr. is, you lose land and you're like, who's going to replace him? And they just found somebody more physical, more powerful, has secondary moves. I mean, he's an absolute problem on that defensive end so I would give it to either Anthony Dunn or Irv Mulligan. I wouldn't have, if they chose Irv Mulligan, I wouldn't have a problem with that as either. My MEAC newcomer of the year. I mean, a lot of those guys are just, ain't nobody from Dale State. Ain't nobody from Norfolk.
Howard.
You know what? I could give it to Norfolk's freshman returner, Biles. The I think he's like the brother of Simone Biles. I could give it to him. He's been very, or I could give it to the kid from Morgan State, their kick returner. Can't remember his name, but that's all I got. That's all I got. All right, moving on.
My bad, Keyshawn. I ain't see you last year, bro. My bad.
Give me your
I saw him this year. Like, where this dude come from? Right.
Well, he was like, newcomer here, Keisha. I said that man been there last week.
If D Davis was your quarterback, we wouldn't see you either.
That's facts. Now that's facts.
Hey, that's where it was with me.
All right, BJ, we're gonna start with you. Your OPOY for the year.
Offensive player of the year in the MEAC, Davis Richard. Offensive player of the year in the SWAC. I'm about to go Ladarius Owens.
All right, Perry, what you got?
I went back and forth with this one. I started the SWAC. Ladarius Owens was there. Ladarius Owens, the only thing, and I talked about it Monday, he has the yardage. He just hasn't been able to get into the end zone like that, right? He has the yardage, but it hasn't been the touchdowns to match. So I'm going to go SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. And he had his ups and downs, but I'm going to go Jeremy Musa, Florida A&M. He's 168 of 296, 2,266 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He has led his team to a SWAC East Division title, got his team in a position to host a SWAC championship. And regardless if it's been up and down, there was a lot of pressure on the season coming in, and he lived up to it. He's a 2,000-yard passer, and we know in this league, and we've seen it in the past, if your team is going to play for SWAC championships or even consider to win one, you got to have a quarterback. And for him to be a 2,000-yard passer, he's that guy. Over in the MEAC, I'm with you, BJ. I'm going Davius Richards, 143 of 243, 1,738 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He also has 82 carries on the ground for 453 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns. He's accounted for 26 total touchdowns in the MEAC for North Carolina Central, and he's done a lot to have them in position to be the number 1 team in the nation, the same way Jeremy Musa has done what he's done to have Florida A&M as the number 2 team in the nation for me at HBCU football.
The MEAC, I mean, go without saying, we all know it's Darius Richards.
Richards.
But in the SWAC, the correct answer is Owens. Point blank, period. But we know he's not going to get it because of wins and losses. But he is the correct answer for all the reasons that you get an offensive player. But we know it's going to go to Musa. And if I had a vote, I would go Owens my damn self. But again, you 2 wins. Well, one win. 1 win on the season. 2 times. I mean, you're not getting player of the year. Nobody comfortable. But he's the right answer, though.
Yeah, it's one of those NBA, like you don't give an MVP on a bad team. You know what I'm saying? It just don't happen. I know a lot of people are saying Aaron Allen, but listen, Perry White's a stat guy, and he leads the SWAC in passing statistically. He just does, and he's on an undefeated team, and they won the SWAC East. I mean, I don't know. I agree with Zoe. Ladarius Owens would be my pick for what he has to do and what he has done, knowing he's the only player on that team, really, realistically, without Andrew. But
quarterback.
First of all, if Andrew Body was healthy, okay, that's a whole nother question. Yeah, both y'all teams on here would have lost. We'll leave that where it's at. Okay, we'll leave that one where it's at. Both y'all members would have lost.
Yeah, we'll leave that in forever, Everland, Neverland. Right?
I mean, he's undefeated against Southern. So I don't know what you're talking about. He undefeated against Southern. Anyway, but
just for Owens, he just needed to get to the end zone a few more times. He just does not have the touchdowns to match the yards. Like the past 2 weeks, he's gone off against Southern. 244 yards rushing. Against Jackson State, 100+ yards rushing. But in both games, he had 0 touchdowns. And for me, you got to get into the end zone if you want to be able to get that name of saying the offensive player of the year. I get the yardage, and trust me, I do. But you got to get in that end zone. That's the difference maker when you talk about offensive player of the year.
Take Ladarius Owens off that offense, and Texas Southern is getting boat raced
in every game.
But here's the thing: you're right, Perry. He has the yards without a touchdown, but you got to get to the why. Horrible quarterback play, loaded boxes, and they still get the production with that. That says a lot, man. That says a lot.
No,
and I ain't gonna knock it. I'm not gonna knock it. Trust me, I went back and forth, but Musa withstood the pressure, regardless if it was inconsistent or not. I saw him in games lead his team back when they was down and put them in positions to win. They was down against Texas Southern on the road. They was down against Southern on the road. There was some times where it was just like, what's going on with FAMU? And Musa was able to do it. And he's, to me, I like Aaron Allen as well when you talk about the quarterback, but you factor in a 2,000-yard passer.
Yeah.
In this league, we've seen that, and you reward that for that. But Ladarius Owens, if you watching anybody, man, you are there, bro. And no doubt about it. I like everything I see with you. I like what you're doing, and you keep doing it, man.
Yeah, shout out to 22, LD. But I got to go with Jeremy Musa as well. I mean, statistically, it's there. He has it statistically. His team is winning. And like Zoe said, it's hard to give somebody OPOY with a 1-win team. It's just hard. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All right, coming up next, DPOY. DPOY, Perry, we're going to start it with you. Give me your SWAC DPOY and give me your MEAC DPOY.
This one's going to probably blow a lot of people not even realize, but it's a kid from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, from UAPB Rico Dozier, if I'm saying that last name right. 49 solo tackles, 12 tackles a game. He's averaging 2 sacks. He has 108 total tackles. He's right above my guy Bubba. What's Bubba's last name at
Adams.
Alabama?
Adam.
He's right above Bubba Adams. And considering the team that he's on at UAPB and the struggle, right now, I just think what he's been able to do for that defense. I mean, it's UAPB, but this man is real life putting on for what he's doing on the defensive side of the ball for UAPB. And then the MEAC, I'm going to go with Jaden Flake of North Carolina Central. He has 40 solo tackles, 7 tackles a game, 4.5 sacks so far on the season. I like what both these guys have been able to do defensively for their teams. Now, for North Carolina Central, it weighs a lot more so than UAPB. But when I look in a position like you guys are putting Ladarius Owens for Texas Southern in that position, what he's doing for his team, this kid right here, Rico for UAPB, is doing all he can for that UAPB defense that can't stop a nosebleed.
So let me get this straight. You just said they can't stop.
But it's the individual award. It's not the defense.
I know. So let me just get this straight. So you give it to Jeremy, he on the best team. You don't give it to LD because he didn't get no touchdowns. So now you giving it to Rico. They getting ran through every game. And somehow
you talk about defensive player of the year. So the difference with Owens is when you talk about offensive player of the year, I get your yardage, and I just told you, I gave the whole spiel. Yardage and touchdowns matter to me in terms of the game changer. And I believe he is a true game changer for Texas Southern, right? But I factor in the touchdowns. He went 2 straight weeks without a touchdown. And I get it. You guys said the team he's playing on, all of that. I get that. But for Rico to just single-handedly be this guy for UAPB's defense, when you look at the defense and you watch film, it's him. The same way you see Owens, but to play defense, you don't got to score touchdowns. You just got to get your tackles, make stops, and get sacks, and be in a position to be that guy. On offense, you got to get in the end zone. That's just simple as that. There's 2 different philosophies, and that's what I said. For Owens, if he got into the end zones a few more times, but you went 2 straight weeks with not getting into the end zone.
2 straight weeks to get you out of OPOY. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
In the SWAC, it's the easy answer. The right answer, Malachi Bailey. Malachi Bailey. Looking about 8.5 sacks on the season. I think he's leading or second in the conference, 14.5 sacks. Defense pretty good. They're in contention to win their division as well. And I'm trying to think who's actually even who leads the conference in sacks right now. Oh, Dunn. Actually, Bailey and Dunn are tied. I think they're tied.
Dunn and Bailey are tied with 8 totals.
Yeah, so I'm gonna roll with Malachi Bailey on for the SWAC on in the MEAC. Let me see. I'm gonna do the MEAC thing. Who's the best strong safety in the MEAC? I'm gonna do what they did last year.
Shit, Tola out of Morgan State.
Boom, there we go.
Rough.
There we go.
Listen, you can pick anybody off Morgan State for DPOY. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Anybody linebackers, they just pick one.
Anybody. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I do like, and I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna let BJ go. For me, it was between Dunn and Bubba. And I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. This is a personal one. I'm giving it to Bubba because I feel like he's been robbed the last 2 years. That's just my personal opinion. He was robbed, in my personal opinion, against Aubrey. He was robbed as a preseason DPOY. I don't know who the hell chose Sendata Anderson. They need to get their eyes checked. That Bama is Anyway, I would go with Bubba because I just feel like he's due. He's due his award. You know what I'm saying, for his time that he's put in for it. I feel you for Rico. He's having a great season on a horrible team, but you got to give. Listen, if it wasn't for Alabama State defense, they don't win those games. Let's just call a spade a spade. They don't win. They don't beat Jackson. They don't beat Grambling. They don't beat a lot of these teams strictly off their defense, and he's the leader on that. He's been the leader for the last 3 years. I got to give it to Bubba. On the flip side of that, I like Chambers. I like the DB from NCCU. I think that dude's an absolute monster. You could have gone anybody off Morgan State, if I'm being honest, but I really like Chambers. I don't like a lot of DBs on NCCU, but that kid Chambers, I like his makeup. I like what he's about. BJ, it's on you.
Oh, man. For the SWAC, I got to go Bubba Adams. There's a significant difference when he ain't in the lineup than when he is. when he got hurt that Jackson State game, he got dinged up and he was out of the game that series. Defense looks a lot different when one ain't back there. So going Bubba Adams and I gotta go Chambers with NC Central. He looks like the next pro
Yes.
defensive back. He looks like Mike Jones and some of those other guys that come out of NC Central. Kid can cover. He'll lay a lick. It was for me. It was between him and Toller from Morgan State.
Yeah, man, I love that kid Chambers. He's a difference maker, and he's about that life as a DB. All right, Coach of the Year. It's been a lot of chatter on Twitter over the article. Zoe, let's start with you. Coach of the Year. Who you got as CTOY? COTY.
I'm gonna keep it on board with the swag. Now, to me, I think the answer should be TC, but it's gonna be Willie Simmons for obvious reasons. Because again, he has the wins, and you look at the previous 2 seasons, the fact that you go unscathed during the year and actually and win the division, especially if it's put out by the time he actually wins, if he wins the conference. I can make a case for TC, but to sit there and say I make a case to put him over him, knowing that Willie won, is a whole different animal. I get why we can actually say he should be in contention because, again, to do what he's done, which never been done before, that's why you can put him there. But I think, to me, it loses its luster by losing to Alabama State. I think you can actually argue that more if we're 9-2 going
With
into
the only loss being with
FAMU. That's when I think you lose that argument for TC. But I think if we're 9-2, you can say that because he's done what no other coach has done when you talk about turnover. But even with that being said, again, the SWAC is going to pick Willie Simmons. It's not even up for debate. It's going to happen because, again, when you factor in Deion Sanders winning the previous 2 years, FAMU only losing to 1 game. So it's the storyline is we've overcome something that we couldn't do since we've been in the conference. And to only do that, to go unscathed, and I think beat everybody by double digits, if I'm not mistaken. So then
they beat them by 7. That's the only one they
okay. And then to segue that to a SWAC championship game appearance, and you're hosting the game, so he'll get it.
BJ, what you got?
Hey, I'm with Zoe. They're going to go. No, hell no. It might be the coach I vote to get up out of here. They're going to go Simmons, and understandably so. I got a legit argument for 2 people. One is TC Taylor. Look at what he's done: 7 wins, having to place 90% of that roster. That's impressive. And another guy that I can make an argument for is Fred McNair. Alcorn started this season off they didn't look good. And he righted the ship. And from that Grambling game forward, the second half of that Grambling game forward, this has been a different Alcorn State football team. And potentially he has them in position to make another SWAC championship game, which would be 7 in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Willie Simmons, but I can make a legitimate argument for Fred McNair or TC Taylor.
And we're consistent for Trey Oliver for me at Coach of the Year, correct?
Oh yeah, Trey Oliver. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna say this: if Morgan State would have won any of those, the Akron game or
it
would have been definitely would have been a different story. But
hey, but Morgan is doing this though. They're still doing this.
They get a quarterback. Problem. They get a quarterback. Be a problem.
Yeah.
Perry, what you got?
Oh, y'all the stole. Look, I got the leftovers. I mean, it is what it is. It's Willie Simmons, no doubt about it. The pressure that came into this season of can they beat Jackson State? And they came in and they was able to get past that thorn in their side coming into the season. 18-2 in the past 2 previous seasons. Jackson State was the only team keeping them from potentially clinching a SWAC East Division title. And they got past that, and then they did what Willie Simmons has been doing for the past 2 years. It's nothing new. That's win games in October and win games in November. And they have consistently done that. And what they've done this year, now that they knocked Jackson State out the way, they're hosting the SWAC championship. And for the first time since the SWAC championship has been hosted on campuses, it's finally out of the state of Mississippi. Can we get a round of applause for that? God, dog, between Alcorn and Jackson, I mean, God, dog, I mean, hey, it's finally out of Mississippi, but Willie Simmons was able to adhere and stand to the pressure and keep his team in the position. And think about all the issues they had coming into the season.
Facts.
Right? They had some off the field issues that was making news that could have been huge distractions for this team. And even the year before, with the issues with the grades and having to get guys, they have consistently found ways with the guys that they have, what you consider next man up. 8-1 on the season, 7-0 in conference play, going into hosting a SWAC championship. But I'm with you as well, talking about Fred McNair, because very much so, if it does end up to be Fred McNair versus Willie Simmons, and Alcorn State goes on the road and beat Florida A&M, everything I just said about Florida A&M is going to be out the window, and Fred McNair is going to be the coach of the year. And it's just going to be as simple as that with Alcorn if they can make it to a Celebration Bowl. And I'm with you guys. Trey Oliver, 8-1, 3-0 in conference play, and it is his non-conference. He was 3-0 against the CAA, right? He was able to get past Elon Campbell in North Carolina A&T. They're one of their biggest rivals, not their biggest rival. Trey Oliver is that dude. So Willie Simmons at this point and Trey Oliver. Fred McNair knocking at the door.
I agree with you, Perry. Fred McNair it will be a very close second before TC, in my personal opinion. I think I listen. I get all the things around it, but the reason I can't give it to you, Zoe, is because you had the number 1 FCS recruiting class. That's the only I can't give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't bolster that and then like, well, you had a lot of turnover. I'm like, bro, you just had the number 1 FCS recruiting class. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I can't give you both ways. And Fred McNair ain't getting no number 1 FCS recruiting class, and he out there just kicking ass and taking names. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. But I saw a question that I want to ask you guys. I thought it was a dope question. Who is the OC of the year? And let's just dump it. Let's do a second one. Who is your DC of the year? I like that. We'll just stick with the SWAC because I don't want to. This is a last minute thing. So your SWAC, DC and OC of the year.
DC of the year, I will go with Alabama State's defensive coordinator. It kind of goes without saying because they don't have an offense, and you see what they do from a defensive standpoint. Man, but OC, that's a tough one. I think the easiest answer would be, probably, FAM OC, just because of what they're doing. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna say something real crazy, real unpopular.
Here we go.
No, I'm gonna tell you from what I saw against us and the other one game that I actually saw. I saw a game against us, and I saw another game they played. Man, I liked what Texas Southern's OC did. Normally they have a quarterback and some of the things creatively that he was doing. I like what I saw with him. Then there was a game or two where I like what I saw from Alabama A&M, believe it or not.
DT.
DT.
And it's kind of a hard thing to answer. I'm gonna cut it short, but the reason why I say Alabama A&M because he has a track record and we've seen what he can do. But it's like because of quarterback play, we really aren't truly seeing what we probably really could see. You know what I mean? But just for what we got this year and the sample size we got, I'm shit, man. I'm gonna have to roll with Alabama A&M OC. I like what he does. Now it may not yield it, but I'm like schematically what they do. But like I said, when Texas play this, man, I love the game he called against us. True story. I love what he did against us.
For me, I'm gonna go DC. It's funny. I think I'm gonna go both with Alcorn. I like the DC from Alcorn, and I also like the second half OC, which I believe is Phillips, who they switched.
Yeah, Phillips.
Man, listen, I love how he calls the game for Aaron Allen. It's a lot of flood concepts. It's a lot of overloads. It's a lot of half reads that fit that style and system. I could go with Willie, and I think that would be the easiest out because he is the OC for FAMU. That's the easy out. And I mean, listen, he's a great play caller. He's a great like if you need it, if you need a drive, I need you to have it. He's one of those. He's a great one of that. But I love what Phillips has done for Alcorn's offense in the second half of this season, and how blended and how easy it looks for Aaron, and it just the ease of how they can run and throw with the best of them. So I will go with Phillips, and then I will go with was it Said Thomas, the DC?
Said Thomas, Alcorn.
Yes, so I gotta go with both of them. I actually love Alabama State would be a close second for my DC. But what you got, BJ? And then let's go Perry, and then cause I don't want to leave Perry with the leftovers. Go ahead, Perry. I'm gonna go Perry, and then I'm gonna go BJ.
Y'all leaving me with the chitlins and all that other list. I got the chitlin juice after y'all that went through the bucket already. You know what I'm talking about? So over there in Mississippi, you know what that red bucket looks like?
Got like a crawfish juice or something like that.
You from Arkansas, same thing.
That's what I'm saying. You can relate. Don't act like we can't relate. We fry fish the same. We like it hard. You like that fish fried hard,
right? Man. Come on, man.
Get out there, man.
No homo, bro.
Man.
We like it hard.
Yeah, granddad.
That's what's wrong with this generation. You used to have conversations, and it just was real back in my day, young buck. But now I'm going with I'm with you with Alcorn State's offensive coordinator. This was an offense that couldn't even get 100 yards passing to start the season. They wanted to be a run-first type of offense. And somewhere down the line, you had everybody still thinking Tyler Macon was going to be the guy. He was going to overshadow Aaron Allen. Aaron Allen had his struggles to start the season. But something changed. You start to see them change who they were and their identity and said, you know what? We'll run second, pass first. And they instilled and trusted Aaron Allen with this offense, and it opened up big. And you said it on Monday, Alcorn's receivers being underrated, right? At the same time, see, you entertaining this foolishness. Don't entertain it. See, you just got to ignore it like I did y'all Monday. If you ignore it, just keep your eyes straight. You won't be paying attention to none of that. Hey, don't be paying attention. Just keep your eyes straight, man. But I'm with you, though. I like what you saw a trend, and Alcorn just completely transitioned.
Yeah.
Right? They looked like they were about to be a nobody in this conference offensively. Couldn't get 100 yards, and now look at them. And now you see Jarvion Howard picking up in the run game. And this looked like a real potent, balanced offense now, with Aaron Allen being able to spread the ball around, throwing it, and now with Jarvion Howard being able to pound the ball and run it on the ground. All right. So look at you. Don't do it. You just can't help yourself, man. What, we in the first grade tonight?
Wow.
My God. Hey, but
I'm sorry.
tell me if I'm crazy. Could you kind of consider to put Southern's defensive coordinator, Coach Miller, there?
Yeah.
Coach Miller and Southern's defense is literally the only thing that's kept Southern from being washed out.
That's the only
game against Texas Southern, and I don't want to go back into last year, but literally, who you think got Southern into the SWAC championship? Although it was a backdoor, but it was Southern's defense, and Southern's defense did everything against Alabama State they could. They did everything against Alabama A&M, UAPB, Texas Southern, even as best they could against Florida A&M. It was just the offense stalling out. Coach Miller could very well, for me, be right there because Southern's defense has literally been this bread and butter this year in order to keep that team at least where they at right now.
Look, before you go, BJ, a question for y'all. Like, I know we're talking about, OC of the year. Does it have to be who's the best statistically?
The reason I like Alcorn is how it looks, right? And like the creativeness of it, the simple ease of it, and how he's doing it with what he has. Like you could see the complete difference of what Aaron Allen was in the beginning to what he is now. And I mean, in the balance of the offensive attack, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Aaron Allen doesn't lead anything. He's like, I think, third or fourth in passing, but it just looks a certain way. That's why I like it. So I'm not about statistics on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Phillips from Alcorn on the offensive side. I like the way that he sets up plays, man. He'll set some stuff up. He'll come back to it in the third quarter. I really like him. And Aaron Allen has become a comfortable quarterback. Man, when they got rid of that RPO game, I tell people all the time, man, the most crucial thing in the RPO is the R part. And if there's no threat of the run, I mean, you just faking the handoff for no reason. You're not fooling anyone. Um, from the defensive side, I got to go with my man out on the state. The way that they do it, like they absolutely, I don't know if people watch Alabama State, but they absolutely just get after you. But Miles Crawley got sacked, what, 7 times Saturday? Was it 7, 8?
He was running for his life, bro. He was running for his
Bro, like they just absolutely get it. And the first thing they do is stop you from running the ball. They make you one dimensional and they make you have to pass. And when you have to pass, it's lights out.
Listen, listen. I told him to keep it swag. I mean, this is a no-brainer. I like.
Oh yeah,
Some things are just like a no-brainer, right? Like
cool all day.
5 of them, okay? Like, like it ain't a plethora to pick from, and they're the best defense, hands down. So come on, man. It's like, what are we doing? I just told
I
him
mean, if you want to go me, a Sewell on the defensive side, Matt Leone on the offensive side.
it's not even. Come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? So
Hell, it's only they just started playing conference play Halloween. Come on, man.
it's about to be over.
Yeah.
It's about to be over. You know,
sample size, you didn't need much, you know.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into it. We went to the coach of the year. The biggest surprise of the season, team-wise. Who was your biggest surprise? Perry, you can pop it off, no homo. I'm sorry. You can start. Perry, you can start. Who was the biggest surprise of the season for you?
I need to be with some more mature people, you know. It's bringing me back to first and second grade, you know, somebody partying, everybody started laughing, you know. You know what I'm talking about. All right, let's roll with it. My biggest surprise, real talk, is Jackson State. And I'm going to say this. Although preseason they were picked to finish second, I honestly didn't think or didn't know how this was going to look like post Deion Sanders, right? Jackson State 7-3 right now, 5-2 in conference play. They was picked second in the SWAC East in the preseason. And guess what? They lived up to it. They're currently still second right there, neck and neck with Alabama State. And I'm surprised at that. I thought this was going to turn out completely different. And I know you did, Scotty, because you had the campaign for 0-4. Was it 0-5, 0-4?
It was Owen. Okay.
Owen, period. Like, you didn't see them winning the game. And I mean, they started to see. So I'm not going to lie. Jackson State did surprise me. I didn't know what this was going to look like. I didn't know what T.C. Taylor was going to look like as a head coach, including replacing all of the coaches, pretty much a turnover with the roster. But they kind of kept it consistent. They've won some games, and they've won more games and played tougher than what I thought they were going to be in the SWAC. Are we doing MEAC as well?
I mean, if you want to pick out of 5 teams, it was the biggest surprise. Go right
My
ahead.
biggest surprise is South Carolina State at this point, considering how they started.
Yeah. No, I give you that.
Where they're at now, right? When we saw them against Jackson State, that was the game we didn't know what team, and I picked South Carolina State over
me too.
Jackson State because I was going with Buddy Pugh, Corey Fields Jr., who I thought could potentially step up in his last year, and because it was Buddy Pugh last season as a head coach, I just simply thought South Carolina State was going to start stronger, but they didn't. They have fell off. But since then, mid-season, they have found some stride. Right now, they're 4-5, but they're 2-1 in conference play. They started the season 0-3 since then. They're 4-2 in their last 6 games. So I'm a little surprised right now at South Carolina State of how they turned it around. I didn't think they were going to be able to be in contention the way that they are. So in the SWAC, Jackson State is my biggest surprise. In the MEAC, South Carolina State is my biggest surprise.
I like that. BJ, then Zoe.
Oh man, I'm going to Alabama State. Alabama State, man, we talked about how they finished the year last year. We knew that they were strong defensively. They find ways offensively to manufacture some points, but just think about this. I talked to my dad about this earlier. This season, Alabama State has defeated Southern, Grambling, and Jackson State. That has not happened a lot in the history of that program. And for us to be sitting here, was this November the 8th, and Alabama State is sitting second in the SWAC East, and potentially you look at that schedule right now. They're sitting at 5-3. They got Valley this weekend. They got Prairie View the weekend next weekend, and then they have Tuskegee. Potentially, Alabama State could finish the season 8-3. Who saw that coming? Yeah, nobody saw that coming.
I give it to you. Miak, biggest surprise?
Oh man, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say North Carolina Central. And we predicted them to win the MEAC, but it's what they did in the non-conference. I think that people thought that Elon potentially would give them problems. People felt like Campbell had the number, but you look at the way that they competed. North Carolina Central has a better record in the CAA than North Carolina A&T, and they're in the damn CAA. All right, think about that. North Carolina Central has a better record in the CAA than North Carolina A&T, and they're in the CAA. And North Carolina Central has beaten a team that's in the running to win the damn CAA.
That is so sad.
Damn shame when we get to that.
So just imagine you moving out of your neighborhood. I'm going over here because they got better schools. And then you get there, and then it's the you know what I mean. You know what, I ain't gonna do it to them today.
Man,
I ain't gonna do it to
damn
him.
shame what happened to that dog.
Oh,
You damn shame what happened to that dog.
go ahead, so you biggest surprise.
I'm gonna echo BJ, man. It's Alabama State, hands down. It's Alabama State.
Oh,
He took my thunder by saying they won against the B3, and you can count how many times they've actually done that in the history. But the other thing is that they grind out wins. So it's like they're the Baltimore Ravens of the swag.
Yep.
I mean, they grind out wins with literally their offense. They get outgained for the most part in all the victories. They have multiple games with under 100 yards passing.
Yeah.
So multiple. And I'm talking about even low when it comes to rushing yards. But yet they still find ways to win. And here's the thing. I believe the quarterback they're starting, I think he's back next year.
Damon Stewart.
Damon Stewart coming back.
So watch this. Again, they're not Morgan State, but they're the SWAC version of Morgan State because Alabama State is doing this.
That's a good point.
You have continuity. You're going to lose Bubba, but again, the nucleus of their defense.
No, they don't lose Bubba.
Huh?
He comes back again. He got another year.
They don't lose Bubba.
Oh, wow.
He is only a junior.
Wow.
So
he did play in that spring season. That was his freshman year, and he gets that year again. Oh, got you.
So you look at what they have on defense, continuity, and again, you fill in some pieces here and there. If they can get some half decent, I feel like in going into next season, they can be last year's version of Prairie View going to this season. And what I mean by that is the nucleus of the team coming back. And you just need a little bit of a jump with your quarterback. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be this 3,500-yard passer, but just enough. If he can hover around 2,000 yards, 2,200 yards, but low turnovers, because of how good they are defensively, there won't be the type of offense where they have to score 30 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they're doing this. But again, they're a big surprise, especially when you talk about just the year in, year out where Alabama State finishes. But in the MEAC, I'm gonna roll with Perry. It's South Carolina State, just because of the perception of how things are going to be. And again, when we played that kid, we played them. As bad as that game looked, man, he was a bright spot. I told him on the field after the game, 22 is a dog, man. He is a dog, and I'm gonna tell you guys. Look, I'm 6'4". That kid, if you see him like face to face, that's a big kid, man. He looks like just a smaller version of what's my guy from Alabama? Big dude.
Trent Richardson?
No.
Trent Richardson?
Mark Ingram.
Oh, Mark.
Tennessee Titans.
Derrick Henry.
He's not as muscular as Derrick Henry, obviously. But the kid, he has some height to him, has some girth to him.
Well, he's 6'2", right? He's 6'2".
I think I'm 6'1.5", 6'2", and running back, and he doesn't run straight up. He's a big kid. He's not as as muscular as Derrick Henry, but he's a freshman, and that's the thing about it. He hasn't even got his man body yet. You figure by the time he's a junior, look out. But that kid's a dog.
No, he is. He's absolutely. I mean, he's serious. I see Herb in the chat. This one's going to absolutely hurt my soul, but I got to give it to Alabama State. Alabama State got to be my biggest surprise. But I just shut up. The thing is I don't see them trending though. That's the thing for me because I can't trust the offensive side of the ball. Right? Is that you're so inept offensively and your defense is so elite. It's literally like you get 14 points and your defense is just so good, nobody else can. Hey, we can't get to 14 or we can't get to 17. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those type of situations. I remember when I know you guys, that old Ravens, that 2000 Ravens and Ray Lewis would say, hey, just get us 14 points and we'll do the rest. That's literally what that's Alabama State.
Yeah.
It's like with Alabama State, their defense is so good, they're going to keep them in every game. But their offense is so bad, they're going to keep the other team in every game.
That's why it's hard for me to say that they're trending, because I don't trust the offensive side of the ball to see what it's going to be. It's a different situation with Morgan, is that you can see all the pieces. You're just like, they need a quarterback. With Alabama State, it's the opposite. I see the talent. You don't want to put it on the field. You don't want to give it like if I'm an Alabama State fan, I'm mad at Eddie because you should have made the move to Damon in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you don't lose the miles with Damon.
You see what I'm saying? It's those type of situations. That's why it's hard for me to say that they're trending, because I can't trust it on the offense side of the ball. And I'm going to say this again. He is not winning with his players. So you're literally winning with the old coach's players. So I don't even know if you can recruit.
You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Alabama State and Morgan State play, because the final score would be like 3-0.
10-3. You know what I'm saying? Like
3-2. Give me a damn baseball.
Actually, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna tell you. I say 7-3. Let me tell you why. Because the best player on the field will be with Alabama State with their wide receiver.
Keyshawn Johnson.
Good for one. He's good for one. He gonna get. I told you. I tell BJ all the time. If Damon get in trouble, he throwing it to Keyshawn. It's going to Keyshawn, and he's going to get you a touchdown, something like that. He reminds me of the Xavier Smith experiment back in last year, where it's Xavier Smith or bust. So, but they are the biggest surprise for me. I'm not high on them as trending. I think they're just like they're doing what they do. On the MEAC, I gotta go Norfolk State. That team, and I know Perry's like, what? I gotta go with Norfolk, because the reason I say this is because I didn't think they would be in any game. I thought they was gonna get ransacked in every game, and it literally, and if you go look at their last 5 games, it has come down to the last minute, and they've lost those games. So you just change. I mean, that's it, with freshmen and sophomores. I'll take that. I will take that. So to me, the biggest surprise was Norfolk State, because I didn't expect them to do anything. I thought they was going. I mean, half the team left in the transfer portal. So I'm like, who you got? And he came out with freshmen and sophomores, and he's been competitive in every single game, either leading or has been tied going into the fourth quarter.
Scotty, hit me with it.
Oh, I took the drop off. My bad.
So is Odom's out after the season?
No.
Considering how close they played and knowing how young that team is, the future is bright next year for them. And can I throw one at y'all that's a big surprise?
Go ahead.
And I know we're talking MEAC and SWAC. Tennessee State and Eddie George.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I know we within 2 conferences, but that's a big surprise considering the step Tennessee State went in this year. And although they lost last week to Charleston Southern, they still had some games that they won. And I was surprised at them. I didn't expect Tennessee State to be where they were at this point in the season.
I said, behold! I say, behold!
You don't know nothing about that zone.
I don't.
Matter of fact, you do. You know about Odoms, though. I know. Don't get me started tonight.
You talking about old stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he ain't there no more.
Okay. All right.
Listen, the most disappointing team. I'm gonna start it with the Southern fans. It's on you, BJ. We go ahead and pop it up, my boy.
Southern. If you look at it preseason, the second most picks to the preseason all conference team. You know how talented this ball club is, and literally it started in Montgomery. This football team literally looks the exact same, maybe slightly worse than what they did in Montgomery on September the 1st. So I think Southern, beyond a shadow of doubt, the most disappointing team. And then the MEAC is Howard. Howard started the season almost getting a win over Eastern Michigan. You lose for 3 points to a Big Ten opponent, and nothing has been the same since. You lose to South Carolina State. Yeah, let me go.
5 all season.
Yeah, Howard and the MEAC, Southern in the sweat.
Go ahead, Perry.
You know what? I'm on you too since you did Howard. Most disappointing for me was Texas Southern. Andrew Body getting hurt. And now listen, because when we first started our show back in July, going into August, man, you was hitting me upside my head every which way is Texas Southern being a potential SWAC championship contending team. And this is out of your mouth, right? This is you talking about they be Southern, they gonna do this, they gonna do that. Andrew Body gets hurt. I understand. They will pick third.
You don't if you telling me they the most disappointing. They can't.
Are because look, they were picked third in the SWAC West in the preseason. They're currently 5th in the SWAC, 2-7, 1-5. Disappointing. And I'm only disappointed because of you. You put them on the pedestal. You was the one believing in Texas Southern. You got an Andrew Body shirt on right now.
Dog, this is my.
So that means you believe.
This is my issue, Perry. You are talking about a team that lost their best player and still took Jackson to the wire, Southern to the wire. What are we talking like without their best player? I'm confused.
You can't be confused if you know you saw an L on the scale. I don't give a damn who you took to the wire, you lost. And I get it.
You gotta make that rhyme. You can't be confused when they lose.
Thank you. Like, there was a lot of expectations.
Does not want to say Southern. That's all it is. This Bama don't want to say.
There was high expectations for Texas Southern.
With Andrew. Andrew.
Damn, how many is it? 11 Andrews lining up?
Dog, you come on, man. BJ, so hold on. Now, you've seen enough SWAC play to tell me, and Joe, you said it. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not winning anything in the SWAC.
So that's a disappointment. I mean, that quarterback got hurt. The disappointing season. I don't know. It's a disappointing season, is it not? They lost their starting quarterback. It turned out to be a disappointing season because they thought with their starting quarterback that there was a possibility that this team could potentially fight for a SWAC championship, which they had it right there 7 minutes away the year before, and they let it slip away on the road in Huntsville, Alabama, against Alabama A&M. You come into this season and say, hey, we've got to build off of something. We got something to build off of. And yes, it's disappointing. You lose your starting quarterback, that hurts, and you saw your season go down the drain. That is disappointing, bro. Come on. That's the definition of disappointing.
You don't want to say something. Go ahead, Zoe. It's on you.
Well, now let me do my MEAC. Look, you so in your feelings. Go ahead.
Finish your MEAC.
Yeah, don't get like me Monday now, all right?
I'm over here. Listen, I know what it is.
Disappointed. Listen, my dark horse over there in the MEAC, Norfolk State, lost the last 7 games this season by 7 points or less. They're 2-7, 0-3. The last 7 games by 7 points or less. They were my dark horse. So, I'm disappointed. I picked them to be better than what they were, but still, nonetheless, like you
A lot
just
better.
said previously, they're right there knocking at the door of, I think, what you can see for next year. So I saw something in them. This just ain't the year. It's gonna probably have to be next year. So Texas Southern for the SWAC, Norfolk State for me. Texas Southern for the SWAC, and Norfolk State for the MEAC.
Go ahead, though.
For me in the SWAC, because of what I picked them in, we talked about this. It's Prairie View for me in the SWAC.
Really?
Yeah, it's Prairie View.
Wow.
And the reason why I say is because going into the season, I'm not worried about where they were picked. I just looked at what they had, and again, going off projection at the beginning of the season. My projection, for example, you look at what they did the previous year, what they had returning to begin this year. Now they had a few holes, but according to them and what they brought in, they thought they brought in some holes, and they brought some good pieces. When you look at what they did running the ball, what they did offensively, and you talk about bringing in a Caleb Johnson, you talk about bringing in a Juice Jenkins to help out what they did because they were kind of anemic passing the ball. So you assume they're going to make some kind of strides. Again, K'Ron Conley wasn't going to be this huge passing quarterback, but with the way they ran the ball last year, and you felt like you're going to get some of that going into this season, if they could have any type of semblance throwing the ball, it was going to lead to some success. Again, I never projected them to have an outstanding defense, but in the SWAC, if you have an above average defense, somewhere if you're middle of the pack, and you can actually have a game or two where you're able to get off the field on third down, you don't have to be a great defense, but a good defense. With the way they like to run the ball, you feel like they were going to have some success. And again, the way they started the year, even though Andrew got hurt, but again, they looked better to open the season offensively. And they just didn't pan out. They lost some other games. They just didn't look good in it. And they've regressed this season more so than they did last year. And so they really regressed where I thought they would be. So that's why I say I use them as the biggest disappointment, because if you really look at it, the SWAC kind of went bored. The only major outlier is Southern. Outside of that, they kind of went bored if you really look at it.
I like that.
So that's why I say that. But in the MEAC, I mean, I say Howard, but it's kind of oxymoronic because you're saying Howard. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna say Howard.
Yeah, but they had a lot coming back, man, from a team that was co-champions.
A lot. I mean, you talking about Kenny Gallup, you talking about Q Will, you talking about James.
Eden James, yeah.
I mean, they're loaded. They're loaded offensively. But listen, my most disappointing team was Grambling. I'm sorry, man. Listen, what? Listen, I was so high on Grambling offensively. Listen, man, I didn't think you would. Defense was your problem last year. Listen, this is my thing, okay? And I tell BJ this, I tell Perry this all the time. My biggest issue with offensive-minded coaches is that if you don't have your offense right, what are we talking about? Right? So going into the season, I'm expecting Hugh to take the next step with Miles, with Antonio, with Linden. I mean, you name Chalk, Lamborghini. I mean, they got players for days. Scoring should not have been the problem. They should be averaging at least 24 points per game. But then on top of that, then your defense is inept. I'm talking about like you can't stop a gnat running through your offense. I'm like, well, what are we doing? So Grambling has to be my most disappointing team. And for me, if I'm a Grambling fan, I'm literally Hugh Jackson is on the thinnest of ice. Because if you don't get that defense fixed, I think you can come back and get your offense together and do some. But if you don't let Cedric Thornton go and get a new defensive coordinator in there and fix this defense ASAP, you are going to be out of a job. And now you just been a loser in the NFL and the SWAC.
And call for yeah. Dude, this one thing about him. The way his contract is written, bro, he's safe for another year.
Which is fine. Which is fine, because listen, if I'm Grambling, I'm gonna let it play out. I'm gonna get all the resources before you dip, and I'm gonna let it play out and win, lose, or draw. We're gonna let it lay as it may. But my issue is this, right? if Hugh Jackson ends up being a failure, now celebrity hires are going to get looked at more and more scrutin.
Yep.
You know, like what did we get from that? You know what I'm saying? What did we get from that? What happened to all this da 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 whoop de whoop? So we paying a guy a whole bunch of money, and he ain't doing his job of winning games. So it is what it is.
And this is the killer part about Hugh Jackson. He was the most qualified of the celebrity hires because he had done it at the highest level for so long. He had been at USC. You know, he had done these things and he had worked his way up. So he's the one that had the resume.
And this is how bad he looks. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let it go. If I'm Grambling, I'm running it back with Ed Reed. But that's just me. I listen. I know. So you can have all the eyes, big eyes, little eyes, whatever. But I'm running it back with Ed Reed. I'm not scared.
Why?
Okay. Huh?
Why?
Because I don't want to lose any of my transfers, and two, Ed Reed in the state of Louisiana, and I'm going against Southern, who's about to get rid of their coach, and he on the way out. We ain't worried about him. You know what I'm saying? So, and now it's Ed Reed against LSU, and you battle. I'll work with it. I can work with it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can work with it. But you know, to each his own.
Can we all agree on this though?
What's up?
The most disappointing team probably in HBCU football got to be the Dynasty of North Carolina. A&T completely just crashing and burning.
Dog, I mean,
can we all agree on that?
Well, they like Enron. Like Incast like the new Enron. Like you was here. Now you're selling your E. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I mean, it looks like the Lee Fobbs days all over again.
Hey man, they're the first form of crypto.
Oh
I
man.
hate it for them, man. I mean, they were the pinnacle of black college football.
I don't hate it for them. It couldn't happen to a better school. AT&T deserve everything to get.
Oh, there's some beef.
No, ain't no beef. Man, you do something, you go against your customer base. Your customers want one thing, and you totally don't want it. I mean, look, they were winning doing a thing. Yeah, so. Man, listen, look now. Y'all talk about Scotty earlier. You mentioned you were like, period. I mean, Deion came and Jack State fans said they want to go to the Sun Belt. Well, damn it, A&T did it. They did it.
And they didn't even go to the Sun Belt. They stayed FCS.
Yeah.
They jumped 2 conferences. They went from the Big South to the CAA.
Mm-hmm.
And they were literally like 1 game away from claiming the Big South Conference title, weren't they? But that conference wasn't real good. Yeah, I mean, Kennesaw State was probably the biggest power at that time you had in that conference.
Here's what makes the move oxymoronic at best. You leave from one FCS conference to go to another one, not for money, solely just because under this guise of prestige academically and a chance to go to the playoffs, when every other power that's going to the playoffs is bypassing the playoffs to move up to get more money. So what are we doing? The playoffs ain't what they make it out to be. And the other schools, the bigger schools, they're literally telling you that by their moves.
And even when they had their dynasty teams, they still lost to Richmond. With Tariq Cohen, they lost in the playoffs. The 1 year North Carolina Central beat them and went to the Celebration Bowl to play Grambling. A&T went to the FCS playoffs and lost in the first round to Richmond. So even
I don't really count that one because they went into that game with a 3rd string quarterback. Like they kind of limped into that one.
Still, I mean, they didn't see success then. What made it seem like it was going to be so different now?
I mean, but you got to get like that. They did beat Jacksonville State when they were ranked 3 in the country. You know, they got some wins, but you know, the thing about it is this. I look at history when you make moves like this. Tennessee State's been in the OVC for 30 years. They have 2 conference titles, right? You know how many all sports titles Tennessee State has in the OVC? 5. They have 5 conference titles in 30 years in the OVC. Now they can't draw flies. your base, your fan base is telling you we want this, we want that, and your administration is being like the parents, telling you no, you're too stupid to know what you want. I know what's best for you, and this is what you're going to get. Hey, what you ANC for ANC? I tell them all the same thing. Good luck, good luck. Wish you well, but good luck. You got 30 years worth of data to see how this played out with another HBCU. Maybe you know something that they didn't.
That's
I
tough.
don't think you did because to be honest with you, your first move was to the Big South, and you said that was for travel. You kind of tripped and fell into the CAA, so we'll see.
And they remind me of the movie Next Friday. Well, Unc said I got my money and I was gone. And later that day, had an eviction letter, eviction notice getting sent to the damn house. Just that quick.
Hey man, A&T stands for above terrible. That's what they are right now.
Hey, listen, guys. We got 15 minutes left of the stream. We got a couple more banners we're going to hit.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
Listen, call lines are open. Make sure you get in. I'm going to be locking it pretty soon. Jump in if you got any questions for our panel in regards to anything we talked about today, any HBCU football questions or anything. Make sure you guys get it in and so you can get your questions heard and answered. All right. Let's see here. Quick. Two things. Coaching spots. What's going to be available and who do you see filling them, right? South Carolina State is going to be available. Texas Southern is going to be available. Who else? I think that's a bit of, and we'll say Southern's on the fence, right? So, but Texas Southern, South Carolina State, who are those? Who do you see? Go ahead, Zo.
No, I want to ask a question. What job potentially, outside the ones you named, do you think is possible to come open in the SWAC?
Does Connell Manor get?
A&M
could.
But if you look at where his contract sits, how he's done,
that's fair. But BJ, don't he got 2 years on the? Don't he got 2 years left on that Joker?
No, one.
Yeah, they do.
One. When he did the last
extension, he got what 24. He got 24.
He did the extension right before the spring season. Well, after the spring season.
After the spring season.
That was 20.
So that gave him a 2 year, a 21 and 2. Oh yeah, you can get rid of him. You get rid of him.
I told you.
Yeah.
You like that, Zo? You like that one?
No, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying if you look at where he sits, how things are lined up,
he could very well be in a position where that seat is open at A&M. Scotty, you did a whole show about that about a couple months ago. I mean, you laid it out perfectly for the AD, didn't you?
No.
I remember that show.
Me and Dr. Paul, right? We cool. We good people. He good people. He good people.
I had that show.
He reached out. He reached out. We gonna leave it alone.
I had to ask because y'all know A&M average and mediocre.
What is going on?
Man, he just popping them out today, boy.
Oh, he got clips on clips on clips on clips.
You know, I called them a glorified Division II school a couple weeks ago. To me, that's what they were.
Let me ask you guys this: best fits? Don't run down. Just give me your best fit. If you had a chance, it could be whatever. South Carolina State best fit. BJ, go.
Chinnisberry.
Nope.
Oh, Perry White, what you got? Best fit for South Carolina State?
You know what? I don't know because Chinnisberry is the name that's floating around HBCU football right now, being hot. But there's got to be somebody off the radar that we don't even think outside the realm of HBCU.
Going with this.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you somebody that people sleeping on, and that's my man Henry Frazier, 3 sticks up at Virginia State.
I like that. What you got, Zo?
Perfect fit for South Carolina State. Defensive coordinator at Morgan State, Sewell.
He's not leaving Maryland.
He ain't gonna leave Maryland.
Not gonna leave Maryland.
Let me tell you why though. South Carolina State, they're known as a defensive juggernaut. Defensive coach to get down there, I think it'd be a great fit. And it's all
and they keep coaches. They keep coaches forever. They've only had like 4 coaches like in 50 years or something like that. It's
It's
something
off,
stupid.
it's off the radar. It's off the radar.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like I told BJ, I said they remind me of the Steelers, just of the
yeah,
program that lunch pail mentality, come hard work. Listen, I think Sewell will be a great fit, but the same reason why he didn't stay at Alabama State is the same reason why he's at Morgan State currently is because of family and his wife. I think she coaches basketball at Bowie State.
But the difference is this a head coach's job, not DC.
Hey, how about this? Sewell and Howard.
I like that. I like that. Now I think I like it because he knows the backyard. He knows that area. He's from DC. He knows the area really well. The only issue is recruiting with those academic standards are not always in the best benefit of somebody as a new head coach. But I
Yeah.
love it. But I think it would be a great fit. And he would definitely. I think he would take that job because it's in the city. It's close to his family. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. All right, best fit for Texas Southern. Perry White, you got one?
You shit. I don't know.
Don't give
I
me
know everybody will come back and play for you.
Hey,
That's all I know. I don't you hell. That's all I got.
My first call is the Art Browns, baby. Hey, my first call. Hey, listen, you either gonna fire me on the spot or you gonna let me hire the Bama. I'm just telling you right now. If I was the head coach, I'm hiring. But
Do you think Alcorn State's defensive coordinator Cedric Thomas, who had left and went to UAPB, stayed and then went to Southern Miss and then went junior college and then found his way back to Alcorn State? Do you think he's potential head coaching material?
Hell yeah. First of all, Cedric Thomas, let's talk about this. Cedric Thomas, the Arkansas Pine Bluff that you saw win the West and competed, Cedric Thomas built the UAPB program.
Yeah.
Doc Gamble got credit for it, and the train was already moving forward. He just jumped on it. But Cedric Thomas built that UAPB program. So, yes, Cedric Thomas would be a great head coach. And I wouldn't be shocked if Texas Southern don't give him a call. Also, I like that boy Antonio Cromartie at Texas Southern or Kevin Summer.
I love Antonio Cromartie at Texas Southern. I think him going to St. Aug was kind of set up his mindset of seeing what HBCUs deal with and the intricacies about it. So if you got one for Texas Southern, let me hit it. Let me hear it.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say Cromartie, but I'll just throw Coach Flea in there at Texas Southern possible.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Listen, you gotta be able to recruit the state of Texas. If you don't know the state of Texas, boy, and I think with Cromartie, you'll get people to come to you. That's the thing that I think Dion had the best privilege of is he didn't always have to go out and get the talent. They were coming to your front doorstep and saying, "Hey, I'm good. Holla at me."
And he still has not gone to not one damn house.
Nope. Nope.
All right, last one, Southern guys. If Dooley should just so happen to not see the rest of the year, who would you like to step in and replace Mr. Ascot?
Chinnisbeer.
He had all the jobs. Jenna's got all the jobs.
And you ask me who I want?
Yeah.
It's Chinnisbeer.
South Carolina State though.
I don't give a damn about South Carolina State. We're talking about my alma mater right now.
When you asked the question, you said South Carolina State.
If Dooley gets let go, then I'm calling Chinnis. I literally got one phone right here. Hey Dooley, you out? Hey Chinnis, how much you want? Hey, check your cash out. You got it? All right, come on. Like it's that simple.
Hey Zoe,
bro, I'm gonna cash out you your money.
So I know you referred to talking about spades earlier, talking about going board. Did he just renege on us right there?
Yeah, man, he reneged like that.
Hey,
I had diamonds.
Hey, let me tell you something. Hey,
It went second, then it was like, wait, hold up, hell no. You know?
hey, when it comes down, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to my alma mater for everybody else is FTP. Chinnisbeer. Brett, come on
And I
back
can't even.
home. You was
Because
already
I
offense
know everybody
coordinator.
else saw
You've
what
been
happened
here. You know the
yesterday.
land. Come on back home.
I saw what happened this time with the hire. I'm not gonna be quick to throw nobody. I literally would have to be in the library studying. Like you're gonna have to put me down, and I literally would have to go across the country looking at candidates because we can't get this wrong twice, right? We can't do this again. So I would literally have to be in a position because it could be somebody, and we got always get so caught up into this realm, and the first thing we do is name somebody from the HBCU realm, right? But there could be somebody out there out of the HBCU realm that could potentially be a good fit.
That's fair.
I got
And
a question.
Southern is a profile job that, I mean, it could attract, if the money right, a lot of names that you've never heard of that could be out there.
Hey,
That
Southern
say,
gonna
hey,
pay. Southern gonna pay now. They
I
got
got a
that
question,
money.
though. I got a question. When Odom leave, or I'm sorry, the guy that filled in for the year. The thing that gets me is that why not go get Chennis Berry then? You could be having him at a way reduced cost.
it was
The
already
thing of
predestined for what it was today.
it was, yeah.
It was predestined.
Man,
That was set up like what you was talking about, Dion, already knowing what he was gonna do. That
They
same
was set
thing
up
that
that
happened at
spring when
Jackson.
Odom's left.
Yeah, that what happened at Jackson was happening at Southern. It was already set up on what it was gonna do, and it just made it so
Charlotte
much
got him
better.
at a way reduced cost. Way reduced cost.
Hey,
The
hey,
man
I'm gonna
was
tell you,
looking
I'm
for
gonna tell,
houses already as the season was
I,
going on.
I'm gonna tell you like this though. You know what it's like. You guys have been through this. Common sense ain't always common.
You got that right.
That's a tough one. Let me ask you Southerners. Let me ask you this: is there any chance of a celebrity ever coaching at Southern University?
Not while Roman Banks is there.
BJ?
Not right now.
Okay. All right, let's take this call and then we're gonna get up out of here. Troy, it's on you.
Yo, man, listen. I was sitting up here minding my own business, listening to y'all talk about the SWAC and the MEAC until one of these, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the 0-2 1400 dude, maybe. No. It's the not been to the Celebration Bowl. BJ Jones and Perry White jumping on the bandwagon about my NTA.
Man, who is this dude throwing shots at us? Hold on, man. Who is he? He didn't say his name, where he calling from. Hey, man, you shooting at us. What's going on?
This is A&T Roy.
Oh,
So
yeah, I've
remember
been
that
seeing
name. So,
speak your mind, bro. I know it's been frustrating.
Y'all talking all this trash about us and what we done so far this year. I know y'all jealous. You're mad. You wish you had what we got. Especially you, Jackson State 0-2.
What's your record right now?
Southern.
They got a pit
What's your
master
record right now?
as their head coach. The barbecue pit master is their head coach.
He go 0-2.
Football.
You said 0-2. Man, you talking about Ulster. What's your record right now?
Hey, I can still hear y'all choking, Jackson State.
You can't answer my question, though. You can hear everything, but you can't answer my question.
He chose violence.
Hey Roy, I'm gonna let you cook because when I start, it's gonna be Chef Boyardee in this bitch. So you better make it good.
Back at the top of HBCU football within the next 2 or 3 years. Watch it work.
Bruh.
You done, Roy?
So y'all talk all this trash, and have your all your fun. But I'm telling you coming back, baby.
Hey, Roy. Hey, let me jump on this one, Roy. Hey, Roy. When Vincent Brown was a DC at Howard, how was those Howard defenses?
Can't do my Bubba Dub.
It wasn't all that good, but how?
No. I just need you to answer the question, then we're gonna move on because I got a series of them. Because I want to know who you buy the shit from that you smoke that make you think that in 2 years you're going to be back with Vincent Brown as the head coach. And all I'm finna give, we finna talk about facts, data, and statistics. I don't give a damn about your feelings, okay? Now, so when Vincent Brown was at William and Mary, Who called the defenses at William and Mary? I know he was a DC in name, but who called the defenses at William and Mary?
I don't know who called.
It was not Vincent Brown, Roy. All right, Roy. When Vincent Brown was at Howard and at William Mary, who did he recruit?
Let's get this straight.
No. When Vincent Brown was at Howard and when he was at William and Mary, who did he recruit? You go to the website, you look at the roster, and they'll say recruited by. Who did he recruit? Pick three. Just pick three. You don't know. What I'm saying, Roy, is you can't give me anything but your feelings. You're an A&T guy. There is nothing. You don't have not one piece of anecdotal evidence that shows that A&T is going to do anything but get their ass kicked the way that they've been doing this year for the next 2 years. You don't have any piece of anecdotal evidence. You can't say that this guy did this at this place and he was able to do this. Everywhere Vincent Brown has been as a coach, D-line coach or DC, he's been mediocre at best. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me the great job he did at any of his previous stops. Go.
You say this.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you the jobs. Let me go down the list of jobs he's had, and you tell me the exceptional job he did. You ready?
He was
you ready?
On the coaching staff that won the FCS national championship. But
what did he do on said staff, Roy?
BJ?
What did he do on said staff? He was on the staff at Richmond when they won it, but what did he do? What was his position on that staff, Roy?
I just want you to know that's Roy.
Roy, what did he? Because he was not the DC. So what did he do on the staff? Roy, what I'm saying is,
fight back, Roy.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
That's a wide reference, Roy. Fight back.
Hey, listen. When we get our weight up, when we get some experience,
you get your weight up. When it happens, you let us know. When you get your weight up, that's when you call back and then you talk about it. But right now, you're 14th in the CAA, and they only got 14 teams. So it's only one place to go, Roy, and that's up.
Hey, man, win is past 10. We are writing this down right now.
Get your facts straight.
What are you? You ain't won a game in there yet. You're tied for 14. You're tied for 14th, Roy.
15. There are 15 teams in the CAA.
Oh, damn, Roy. My bad. You ain't in the cellar. You a step away from it. Damn. My bad. Go ahead and cook, Roy.
Did I tell you? Above terrible, dog.
But here's what's gonna happen.
Roy, if I pull this iPad out, I'm gonna light your ass up. I'm gonna just let you know.
Hey, listen,
Roy, if I grab this, you know what, Roy? If I grab this iPad, I'm gonna light your ass up.
Roy,
look, when you get to the celebration ball.
I got something on, Roy. It's been a long time since you've
what's
seen
your name? 1400. Go ahead and get your mascot ready because he's gonna have to go out there in the end zone.
Hey, man, I don't talk to one thing. I don't go back and forth.
You gonna get.
Man, Roy, we won more games last month than y'all done won the whole damn time y'all been in the CAA. That's a damn shame. Hey, Roy, how does it feel that your rival has more CAA wins than you and ain't even in the damn CAA? How that work, Roy?
Okay, I'm good with that. And
you good with it? Roy, stop lying. Stop bullshitting what you said.
I know that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be right there on their side, cheering them on.
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna beat y'all again.
Thank you
for what? One victory?
Thank you for the call, Roy.
Hey, I love, it's all love, Roy. All love.
I don't know
all love.
This.
Oh, that man said, "Get
oh
up."
My God.
He said, "Get up, man."
Oh my God.
I had to go find this shirt, man. I had to go find
Hey, that was the good old days right there, boy.
Yeah, this was the good old days.
That was the good old days back then.
Them fellas.
You goddamn, it's Lee Fobbs era now, all over again.
Over here, dog.
Oh my God.
You can't stop the rain. You can't stop the rain. When it starts to fall.
It starts too far.
Hey, teach a man how to squabble.
Oh man.
Hey, he got his ass whooped.
I mean, who you got committed that makes you think
Oh,
that you're gonna be back in 2 years?
oh, Jesus.
Who do you have committed that make you think that? Like people just be saying stuff because they hard in it.
Oh, Jesus.
Like man, just
Hey,
Easy.
Scotty, two things.
oh
When we
man.
gonna do the two games, highlight the two games?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
When they reminisce over you, my God.
Come on now.
I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry.
I
Y'all.
feel so like, damn, Roy.
Oh, y'all are stupid, man. Hold on. I'm
I
sorry.
would like to say that last segment was brought to you by Uncle Neely and Rolling with the Buffalo.
Shit.
Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get. I'm trying to get my head together. I don't know what I'm. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Okay. Here we go. You see. Okay, I got the right one. Okay, cool. Here we
I
go.
had just got my iPad out too. I was finna let loose on it.
And we're going to use word power today, and the word for today is truculent. BJ, you were very truculent to Roy.
Man. What was that word? Scotty, type that word out and put it on the screen.
Listen, I'm gonna spell it. I'm gonna
Put
misspell
that
it.
word on the screen, Scotty.
Oh shit.
Somebody, somebody's an English major. Can y'all spell that for me? I'll bring it up in the comments. 'Cause
Oh shit.
I ain't about to get that word up. Oh man! All right, let's knock out these marquee games for the week. Get you guys' picks. First up, the elimination game, PV Southern. Let's start with the Southern guys. BJ, how are you feeling about this game? And break it down for us.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what's left. What kind of fight is left in this football team? They played their worst game last week and they lost to Alcorn State. But then Prairie View, man, I don't know I don't know who Prairie View is. You saw you saw how they played the beginning of the year, but then the Houston Baptist game, the FAMU game, it's kind of hard to say. I want to lean, Southern, but I would not be shocked if Prairie View gets it.
Go ahead, P.
Y'all know I got the stats for you all day, but I'm gonna tell you first about guys to watch in this game. Kendrick Rhymes, running back for Southern University, 81 carries, 445 yards on the season, 6 touchdowns, 22 receptions to go along with that, 175 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. On the other side, a guy that I would want to see do good in this game for Prairie View, he's been up and down inconsistent. Trayvon Conley, 1,674 passing yards, 7 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. But he can also run it if you allow him to. He's a dual threat quarterback, but he only has 93 rushing yards on the season with 4 touchdowns. And then their receiver, Trajan Spiller, 22 receptions, 376 yards, receiving 5 touchdowns. On the other side, Chandler Whitfield can be a big-time playmaker for Southern if they can find a quarterback or someone to get the ball to him in his hand. He has 17 receptions on the season, 294 yards, receiving 3 touchdowns, but also in the return game, he can be explosive as well. 5 punt returns for 68 yards. And let's look at both these teams offensively and defensively when you look at the stats. Southern's offense has struggled. They're 7th in scoring offense, 8th in total offense, 5th in passing offense, but they are almost at the bottom when you talk about 10th in rush offense. But Southern's defense has been its bread and butter. They're 3rd in scoring defense. They're 4th in total defense, 6th in passing defense, and 3rd in rush defense. On the other side, Prairie View has just pretty much struggled offensively and defensively. They're 8th in scoring, 7th in total offense, 7th in passing offense, but they can run the ball when they get a good day. 3rd in rushing offense. But in defense, you know where they rank? Near the bottom, 11th in scoring defense, 11th in total defense, 11th in pass defense, and 6th in rush defense. So this is a game where you're going to have a bad offense. Although statistically, it does not show Southern to be just as bad, but you're literally going to have a bad offense going against a bad defense. And I really don't know what to expect when you look at this matchup.
So what you got? Did you pick somebody, Perry?
Oh, Southern.
They're doing it all that chopping. I'm like, did you pick somebody?
I told you I didn't know, but Southern, yeah. Battle for number 2. That's basically what it is, and hopefully you hope other shit work out, but I'm going Southern.
Man, look, we talked earlier. I'm gonna say this. Southern has the better pieces.
Yeah.
The main issue is quarterback. Now I will go out on a limb and say this: if for any strange reason, what if Southern just so happen to start another quarterback? It might not happen. I'm gonna say, but if it does, I think Southern will win convincingly. That's the only thing. They have the better pieces. Running game, they have the receivers. O-line is decent. You know what I'm saying? They have the better defense. Special teams, the kicker. All those things line to Southern's favor, but the one thing they don't have is the thing they have to have is quarterback play and a stubborn coach. Because again, if he gets out of his way and play another quarterback, I don't care who it is, because it's not like you got to come in and throw again for 200 yards. If Southern, the way they can run the ball, if they can just muster up, it's like, damn, they almost like Alabama State. Defense is not as good as Alabama State, but it's like, damn, if I can get a quarterback to just muster up 200 yards, but the way we're going to throw it, you know what I'm saying? If they could get that, man, they will win this game convincingly. But I still, because of the kicker, because of special teams, and Southern has a better defense, I'm going to lean more towards Southern. The only X factor is blood and turnover. And then, what they can do will get, or how Prairie View could do defensively on third down. Because, again, one way to negate it by not getting turnovers is getting off the field. But Prairie View has been bad on defense. So I'm going to lean with Southern. I'm going to roll with Southern, probably by 10.
For me, it goes back to what Perry said about I think the key player to this is either their running game or Whitfield. And at one point in time, I love what Whitfield could be for this team, but it's hype. It's going into the game understanding, hey, let's get him some touches. And that's the one thing about Southern's offense that bothers me, is that I don't see the deliberate effort to get my playmakers touches. And I think Southern's the more talented team, but I think Prairie View is a team, right? Individual wise, Southern is great, but together, I think Prairie View is better. So I'm going to take Trezon, and I love Savage. I love with Juice and Caleb and Ahmed and all those boys, what they can be and what I've seen them do, even getting away from the run game like Bubba usually is. He's more of a run first guy, and they've been passing the ball a lot more. I just trust the offense of Prairie View more than the offense of Southern. So if Southern isn't getting short fields dictated by their defense and putting their offense in a better position, I think Prairie View has the better offense to matriculate the ball down the field and get something. I have it being a really close game. I would say 24-20. You know what I'm saying? 24-27, something around those. No. Southern hadn't gone over 20 points. That not too well. Let me stop there. 24-21 Prairie View. Or 27-21. 27-21. I like 27-21 Prairie View on this one.
I got one for you, Scotty. Over under on Prairie View fans showing up. How many fans do you think they can get to show up to Baton Rouge this week?
Well, they only got 12. So I give them over under 6. Over under 6. That's all I got for you. That's
what we at with it.
They only got 12.
So are you over the 6 or you under the 6?
I'm under. I'm under. I'm way under. I'm way under. Yeah, that's a journey. No, they're not doing that. And they just had homecoming last week. Oh, them Bama's ain't coming.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, they done. They done.
Season's we good. You know what I mean?
Season's over with.
Season's over with.
The Labor Day Classic next year.
See
you at the Classic.
Same time, same place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're gonna pull up in the same Subaru.
Hey, y'all being funny, but the over under really could be 10 for real. Like
it might be. It might be. It might be.
It might be. All right. Last marquee matchup, NCCU, Howard. Huge implications on this one. I thought this man, listen, Me and BJ. I think I talked to you about like a month ago, BJ. Remember, I was like,
Yeah.
man, this NCCU and Howard game could be epic. NCC coming, it's so killing me.
I wonder what the hell is he having, a seizure down there?
I
No,
was so excited about this game. I'm like, okay, there's no way Howard's going. Howard got murdered last year, right? And then I'm like, okay, Howard's playing well. They did it. And then the South Carolina State game happens, and now this game loses some of its luster. But the thing and if anybody, and I know Josh is in the chat, if anybody can help me understand the standings, if Howard wins this game, can somebody break that down to me in the chat? I'll bring it up. But your guys' thoughts in on the game, NCCU Howard. This is at Howard. Me and the wife will be at this game. We're gonna check it out. I'm in the DMV area, so gotta go down and catch it in person. Zoe, you shaking your head. What? What the fuck is?
What is that?
Is that a bison on there? What is that?
Is that a water buffalo?
It's an eagle. Look like an eagle about to take down a buffalo or something.
That's a badass eagle, boy.
Yeah.
That's what everybody he gonna be saying. Badass Eagles.
Oh man.
Man, let me tell you something. Y'all must forgot what the coach said about possibly playing them in the championship game. I know how we're gonna be in their feeling, but whatever Trey Oliver said, he did that shit. They're gonna beat the crap out of Howard, dog. You're gonna beat the crap out of Howard. It ain't gonna be close.
Man, let me tell you something. Talking to my boy Josh all off season about this. Look, that co-champion thing rubbed NCCU the wrong way. And it's been rubbing them the wrong way for a long time. And they've been waiting for this opportunity to show Howard that you ain't on our level.
Mm.
And I think that's exactly what they're gonna do. I think Davies is gonna have a big day. Hey, Mookie Collier. I know that Davis been getting a lot of shine. I think Mookie Collier might have a huge day. I like NCCU be Eagle Pride amplified.
What you got, P?
Well, I'm gonna go because this is what they considered to call, quote unquote, a de facto MEAC championship. And I know for you, Scotty, you had wanted this to be your top 5 matchup of the week. I know you wanted it. Yeah, goddamn is what you want. Damn. Yeah.
Oh, goddamn.
I know that's what you wanted because it would have gave that whole hype for the whole season of right there what you wanted. But nonetheless, this still is a great matchup. Let's look at some players to look at in this game. Of course, Davius Richards is that guy, right, for North Carolina Central. Latrell Collier, 126 carries, 575 yards, 7 touchdowns. He also has 20 receptions for 158 receiving yards and a touchdown. On the other side, how about Adrian James' son, right? 74 carries, 398 rushing yards, and touchdown. Could this be a breakout game for him? Could this be an opportunity for him on the big stage against the big team in the conference? He also has 11 receptions, 140 receiving yards, and a touchdown. And Casey Hawthorne for Howard, 25 receptions, 338 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. He also has 19 carries for 179 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. He's kind of like a utility guy for them. Yeah. He can do it all. He can run it. He can catch it. Quentin Williams has been inconsistent so far this season. 1,738 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 44 carries, 59 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. You look at North Carolina Central's offense, they're first in scoring offense. They're second in total offense. They're first in pass offense. They're fourth in rush offense. That's pretty tough to stop if you're a defense, right? And you look at Howard's defense, they're right there at the top of things. Howard's defense is second in scoring defense, second in total offense, first in pass defense, and fourth in rush defense. So this is going to be a great matchup to see Howard's defense go against North Carolina Central's offense. And Howard has been right there. There's a reason you've had them as your number 5 spot before. Yeah. You've seen them go against Eastern Michigan earlier this year, played a damn good game. They went on the road to Northwestern, played a damn good game. The only game that seemed to really hit got by them is against Harvard. And I don't think North Carolina Central is quite Harvard, even though, that matchup was just bad for them. But this is going to be a great matchup of offense and defense for both squads. And Howard's offense isn't too shabby. They're first in total offense, second in pass offense, and third in rush offense in the conference. So this is really a matchup of two of the best teams in the conference. It's going to really, I think, come down to who can get the defensive stops.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go North Carolina.
Hey, it depends on what Q will show up. Because they go good Q will, bad Q will. And bad Q will get you blown out in this.
Easily. And let me say this. And I hope Josh is on here when I'm saying it. NCCU's defense is not special. They have some special players. And Blue has said it numerous of times. I'm not trying Chambers. I'm not. I'm not even looking that young man's way. Okay, not doing it. But the rest of those guys can be got. The D line. Listen, Anim Dinkwa he's not an NFL prospect for no reason. Okay, that left side of Howard's O line is like that, right? So you got to establish the run. You got to slow this game down to a screeching halt, okay? You need to limit the possessions of Davius Richards to be on the field, and like BJ said, what Q will do you see? Because if you get that Q will who out here throwing it like he's Stevie Wonder, I'm like, bro, what are we doing? If you get the Q will that was at Hampton, okay, we can rock with that. We can rock with that. So it is what it is. I'm gonna go NCCU because I just saw what Juwan Howe did. I'm sorry. I just see what Juwan Howe did to you, and they got one of the two best rushes in the conference with Davius and Latrell. With Mookie. Like, I don't see how you stop them after just seeing a freshman run for 280 on you. So I'm confused. So I'm going NCCU. Like I said, I'm gonna be at the game. Hopefully it's competitive. That's all I ask. I don't want to see a blowout because I'm gonna leave. Okay. I'm gonna leave.
And interesting enough with this matchup, let's just say Howard does show up with the better team and beat them, and this de facto get the bid to go to the Celebration Bowl. North Carolina Central is still a legit threat for an FCS playoff team.
Absolutely.
And I think they can be pretty good in the playoffs this year.
Absolutely. I do. I'll give them I think you asked what would I expect from NCCU if they do lose and they don't go to the Celebration Bowl. I expect them to win a first round playoff. I mean that's an expectation that I expect to see from them if it happens to roll that way. Let me ask you guys this: and this is off topic a little bit. We're gonna shut it down after this. You have Chennis Berry, you have an undefeated SIAC. If he loses in the first round again, is that still a coach you will go get?
I think a lot of people go ask questions. Because if we look at it, be honest with you, Scotty, the SIAC has not been that strong of a Division II conference for a while. Now, I think if he had done this in the CIAA, it's a different conversation. Reason being, the CIAA has had more success out of conference than the SIAC has. So I think if Benedict runs the table and you lose to a Wingate, or you lose to a one of those teams out of GSC, you lose to a Newberry or a Carson Newman, people are going to ask questions. With you being in the top 10 and probably potentially losing to a team that's probably ranked somewhere around the 16 to 24 mark.
I don't know the bottom of y'all if y'all know some D2 stuff. So I'm
gonna go because I heard somebody last night when you were doing the show with Mike Reed complaining about a coach talking about only being as good as the Negro League, right? Only being able to beat the black schools, right? And this sets up for one of those ideas of, are you just satisfied to go out and get a coach that can simply beat the black schools, or can he go out and beat any school? That don't matter the background, PWI, HBCU. Can you put together a team and go in as the favorite and actually walk out of there winning as the favorite?
What's crazy is they actually the playoffs. They actually are heading for a beeline straight with Delta State.
Yeah,
really?
They are. Mm-hmm.
Delta
Do
State.
they
Yeah,
even make
Delta
it that
State.
far?
Yeah,
Delta
Delta State got Mississippi College Saturday. They should handle business there. The
They
way
ain't.
those regional rankings look, it looks like they're gonna end up with Delta State.
In the first round?
Yeah.
Listen, listen. I don't even watch D2 games like that.
Oh, you
I'm
should.
going to be tuned in to that. Okay, I'm gonna be tuned in to that.
Delta State is a D2 power, dog.
Yeah, I
They
know
are.
for a fact because they beat the brakes off Ballard. They beat them. They covered, and it was like a 22 man, and they covered.
I'm trying to tell
Didn't they
you.
push Dion them to the brink?
Yeah, they did. His first year, it came down to the goal line. It was a goal line stand. Yeah.
What I
Dude,
told
and
you.
that Delta State team wasn't even a playoff team. They went 6-5 that year.
Oh, what did that quote that I tell you earlier?
Yeah.
You can't get confused.
Now I want to give some love to the CIAA. Virginia Union and Fayetteville State this weekend. Virginia Union with Jadakiss Bonds, who's probably one of the best running backs. A lot of people have no earthly idea who he is. Fayetteville State is going back to the CIAA championship game for the sixth time in a row. Um, and you look at the way that the CIAA has competed in the playoffs. I think Virginia Union got an opportunity to make some noise if they can get past Fayetteville State on Saturday. I think they got a potentially they're gonna make some noise in the playoffs, and it's gonna be interesting to see if the CIAA can get more than one team. Can Virginia State be that second team?
I'm about to say, what you think Virginia State got a good chance to get in?
We'll see.
We shall see. Oh man, this is gonna be interesting. Listen, guys, I appreciate you guys taking the time out to do this with me, man. This was fun. This was very much enjoyable. I hope everybody else enjoyed it out. Please go check out everybody of their followers. BJ, tell people where you can catch you. Perry, tell them where people can catch you. Zoe, tell them where people can catch you. BJ, go ahead.
All right, man. I'm on Twitter, man, at inside HBCU F ball. Every Wednesday night, man, HBCU nightly, man, with my man Josh, my girl Erica, Dave, Herb, and the crew, man. The X's and O's crew, man. We coming. No homo. And pause, by the way. We dude, I almost just went in. I almost just went into my Bill Walton rant. Kobe Bryant might be one of the best defenders in the league. He's dumbing it down in the paint. The region. But yeah, man, you can catch me there, man. Catch me inside the HBC Sports Lab on Sunday with Dr. Kenyatta Cavill, Josh, Charles Bishop, and everyone else. Hey, man, you're going to be catching me with Scotty, man, a lot more often. He done left me down here in 8 and went back to the DMV. So we got to connect this kind of way. So, man, me and Scotty go think of some crazy stuff to do, too, man.
Absolutely.
BJ, you like Steve Harvey in the HBCU space, ain't
you? Boy, you got more,
Hey, I'm trying, man.
more jobs than the Jamaican. Stop playing.
I'm trying, man.
Perry, where can they catch you at?
Man, I'm like him. I'm like that Jamaican too. I got a lot of stuff tonight.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
You know,
do.
you can follow me at On the Yard Sports on all social media as well as YouTube. You can keep up with me on that. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can follow me, keep up with me on the Jaguar Journal. I do it every Saturday morning, 107.3. We also have the Jaguar Journal YouTube channel if you want to keep up, figure out what's going on with Southern University Athletics. It's the Jaguar Journal. We do it Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., but you can catch it anytime playback. Follow the YouTube as well as the Facebook channel. And I also do another show with Coach Roger Cater, our legendary Hall of Fame baseball coach from Southern University. We got a show Chopping It Up with Coach Cater and Perry White. That's on YouTube as well. So you can follow us on all of that, man. And then, you know, I do my thing with the Human Jukebox with Southern Band. I know everybody on here should be a fan, including you, Zoe, including you, should be a fan of the Southern Band. I know. Oh, guess
Now,
what?
so you like that band now. You like that band.
This Saturday. That's a battle of the bands with Southern and Jackson. Sunday, excuse me. This Sunday. So I'm sure you won't be there because you ain't into the band world like I am. But yeah, you can follow me. Huh?
I am, but I be at work.
Yeah. And you can follow me on, and of course, every Monday on Outspoken with my man Scotty. We roughly about 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock. So it just depends if Scotty's on time or not. But, you know, you can catch us every Monday and Outspoken. So
8-ish.
Yeah.
And you do the Eric Dooley show too, right, Perry?
I stand in for that as well. So you can follow that, the Jaguar football show with Coach Eric Dooley. But guess what? The name changes with whoever the coach. So it could be the Jaguar football show with anybody next time.
Well, you're going to have some bad energy on the next show.
Yeah, you ain't doing the next one.
It's the next show the week before Bayou. I'm actually doing the next show.
That's what you think.
Well, I'll be there. I don't know about him, but I'll be there.
Hold on. Is that an exclusive, DJ?
Hey, I'll be there, but I don't know who else will be there. So, you know, man, hey, I do a lot, so y'all can follow all of that stuff. Go back and listen. So I'm pretty much got my fingerprints on everything as well. I'm grinding and hustling, trying to get to the top.
That's what's up. Hey, Zoe, tell them where they can catch you at the Mass Beans.
Look, man, on all social media platforms, man, Zoe Phillips 1400. Y'all can catch me on Tiger Talk, the 1400 Club, the official arm and media team for JSU, as well as catch me out on KC 1400 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 p.m. Central with me and my man Ken Clark. We go live and discuss all things JSU.
That's the Mass.
I got two things before we get out of here, Scotty. First, shout out to Southern University men's basketball team.
Yes,
whooping up on UNLV.
Coach Johnson, man, shout out, man.
Hey, that was a big
ass. Say it right. Keep that ass.
Yeah.
And second, so what you was doing in that commercial at the beginning of the season when you told them to buy them tickets, what he was saying? Hey, he was sitting there. Hey, the bodyguard, boys, though you was on the nation's ass, weren't you?
Everybody.
Get your
hold on. Like old boy say, till this day. Get your damn
to this day.
To this day.
No, hold on. See, hold on. We'll go. But to Perry's point, Southern just kicked who you play last night?
UNLV.
Just kicked UNLV's ass. Watch this. Where y'all play them at, Perry?
Was it at
in Las Vegas?
Las Vegas. Point. The thing is, HBCUs, we gotta do better, man. Buy your season tickets. Football funds the athletic department for every HBCU school. If you buy your season tickets, donate to your school. All these HBCUs will be traveling from damn November to January. You can start to have home games. So again, let this be a lesson learned. That's a tough ass game, but guess what? You're more apropos to win that game if that game is played at home. We need to play about 5 or 6 conference games at home in December. Buy your damn season tickets, man.
Come on, Zoe. Tell them, let them know. Let them know.
And I enjoyed this tonight because this was great. This is
That
great.
was
I appreciate y'all for even, having me on here, man. I know I'm a chatterbox, but it's good to listen to the opinions and the thoughts of others, man. I love every bit of this. And then, baby, this was basically the barbershop.
For sure.
It was. Y'all got me in trouble too because I see my dad and text me about something he watching.
Hey, shout out to Pop. Hey, Pops, you funny, Pops. But listen, man. Once again, man, I texted these guys last minute and I asked if they can come on and do this for me. The chat is absolutely loving it. We'll talk and we'll see if we can make this thing, maybe quarterly, weekly, however, with everybody's schedules pending. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if we can give you more of this. And I absolutely loved it, man. You guys have been a blessing to me, and I appreciate you guys coming on the platform. And listen,
I got a little shade. How did it feel not to be cut off 1,000,000 times tonight? You actually got to let your point across tonight, man. You be having some good shit. I'm glad you didn't have to get cut off so many times, man, because you real life be having points. I'm glad. I'm glad, bro. I hope you love it here.
I'm done. You said that in front of people. He can't believe you said that in front of people.
They doing that in front of me.
It's time.
Hey, so you always fucking love over here, all right?
Oh man. Oh damn, my side hurt.
Don't be having points, man. I be wanting to hear him, man. Just shoot. He know the truth. I understand. We know it. All right, I'm done. I'm find some stats to look up tonight. All right.
You do that. You
do
that. Oh man,
I gotta watch film anyway. I got a game tomorrow, man.
You talking about Mike, but you figure watch some film?
Huh?
You be talking about Mike, but you finna go watch some film.
I got a game tomorrow. I officiate high school.
Oh, he
football,
officiate
so
high
I
I
play
know
all
that.
game.
I see. I ain't know that.
Yeah, he
Yeah, man, he a zebra. Real live zebra.
real
So
life.
I got to go somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana, tomorrow to officiate a first round high school football game. So I got to look at these two teams and see what I got to be looking for.
That's good. I do. It don't get no thinner between them JSU and Southern, boy.
This probably the most love. And look, A&T found the hard way. Do not come in here messing with no Southern and Jackson together. And that goes out to any one of you in the SWAC or the MEAC and anywhere. Don't come messing with us together, man. It'll be a rough day for you.
Oh, y'all, man, my cheeks hurt. No homo.
I don't know if this ever been this much collaboration between Southern and Jackson. Has it?
Listen, I'm out here mending fences. I'm okay. That's what I'm out here bending. I'm out here building bridges. You know what I'm saying? It's almost.
I'm talking about, boy. You better than the United Nations.
Thank you. You know,
you better than Jesse Jackson, and you better than when they sent who they sent over there to talk to Kim Jong-un in North Korea. Was that Dennis Rodman?
Man, I'm done with you. Listen, until next time. You know what I'm gonna do. I'ma holler. God bless.